And we're live. Welcome to There Will Be Spoilers, the show where, as the name gives away, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't watched these movies, you should probably go and watch them before listening to us dissect them in great detail. And today we've got a Christmas show. Whose idea was that, I wonder?
Oh, totally mine. Not even ashamed. Go Christmas!
No
Go
shame
Christmas.
at all.
Yeah.
Hey man, 3 more days and I get fucking presents.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. So I guess we're doing this every year now.
It's not that bad.
Well, don't laugh too hard, or we'll be doing other holiday specials.
You know,
too. So
you know what? Next year I'm gonna pick saccharine sweet movies on you. Make you sit through like Miracle on 34th Street or something.
Oh no! Oh well, the movies we're reviewing today were pretty good actually. So
Yeah.
what we have is we have a Christmas comedy, we have a Christmas horror, and then we have something in between, which is a Christmas horror comedy.
Yes, sir.
Horror comedy is my favorite genre of movie.
So I would suggest that maybe we do the horror comedy in the middle, since that's the halfway point between the two others.
Yeah.
So the question is, do we start with the comedy or the horror?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. We could do them in descending order, which I would consider the horror first.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or ascending order. So I mean,
If we go the other way around, I'll be good and drunk by the time we do Bad Santa, which is appropriate.
Yeah, I'm happy to save the comedy until last if everyone else is okay with that.
Oh yeah.
Sure, that sounds good. We can talk about the incredibly unpleasant and dark, a little bit silly, but
Oh no, it's a family-friendly must-see movie for the holidays.
Not really.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Take your kids to see Black Christmas.
Which is also known as another name, isn't it? What's the other name it's known by?
Gosh, there are a couple names. But
do I put you on the spot, or
a little bit, yeah.
Oops.
Way to go.
I thought you were prepared. This is your pick.
I am never ever prepared. You know this.
Do you know how he prepares for these? He smokes a fat bowl of weed. So
Yeah, well,
That's pretty good prep, I have to
Oh,
say.
hell yeah.
But there's another Christmassy name. I can't remember what it is myself, which is why I threw it to you. But
well,
I can consult the Google
you
very
could.
quickly.
Yep.
Since that's my job here.
I mean, it's based on an urban legend.
You mean the internal phone call?
Well, more or less, yeah. There have been other films that have done it since. Nothing quite, in my opinion, anyway, to this effect. This movie scared the shit out of me. I watched it far too early in life.
Well, I was going to say we really need to judge it in the time it was made, because a lot of it has become cliche, I think, since with the phone call from within, and
it has become cliche, but as you say, at the time it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we have to, like I said, view it from the time it was made.
Yeah, I think it demonstrates really well the like unpleasant nature of a lot of horror films in the 70s. There were a lot of firsts in the 70s. And this film is filmed in the tail end of 1973, and or the early 74, for a pretty small budget at the time.
I was going to say that was one of my criticisms. And look, to be fair, obviously it was a very low budget horror movie made in the 70s, so I'm not going to be too harsh on it. But I found the sound very distracting.
The sound editing is actually terrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of echoes.
Yeah. There absolutely is. Even on like we have the most recent Blu-ray, and the sound is still awful. It's absolutely terrible. You can isolate some of the sound in files on your computer, and it sounds okay. The soundtrack's great, actually, but just the overall sound editing on the film is just, it's muddy. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, look, I've never made a movie, and I imagine sound would be one of the more difficult things, with echoey rooms and background noise and things like that. So I imagine a low budget horror movie in the 70s, we can't be too critical, but I
No.
did find it a little bit distracting.
Oh, come on, the drunken
echoey.
the drunken slurry woman echoing wasn't entertaining for you?
No, it was entertaining, I'm sure, but for the wrong reasons.
The other criticism, I think, was some of the dialogue. The plot, I liked the plot. I thought the plot was really good. But
the plot was good, very tightly written.
But the dialogue was a bit cheesy, I thought.
Oh, Fellatio was hilarious.
That was a funny scene. Margot Kidder, to her credit, she was. I actually really like her character. She's like obnoxious as fuck, and the actress too, Margot Kidder. She's a horror icon. So, this and Amityville Horror alone are two films that basically make her career.
So I guess we should talk about the plot, because I do think that's the strongest part of it. It's the plot.
It's true.
The overarching story, despite its writing, yeah.
Well, no, the dialogue, the writing overall is good. It's the dialogue, which is
yeah.
So it's,
I did not hit her. I did not.
Well, it's nowhere near that. My goodness. Okay. Okay, now.
It was set the bar really low so it could just roll over that.
So it's set in a sorority house.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, the movie has a surprising lack of tits considering its setting.
Well, yeah, actually. It's 74, so considering its pedigree and setting and subject matter, the lack of tits actually is quite surprising. But it's not an Italian movie in the 70s, so I guess...
Yeah, I was going to say it's not an exploitation movie, but when did tits start really appearing in American movies?
American movies, that would be, 80.
Late 70s?
Maybe late 70s, but definitely 1980 as a hard year.
More tits.
as a hard year, you say.
Yeah.
Unironically.
I guess, sure.
Yeah, I guess that's the reason why there was no tits in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a little bit ahead of that.
So we open with point of view camera from Crazy Man looking at the sorority house.
We don't quite know he's crazy yet, but we can kind of assume.
Oh, come on. Come on. Nobody normal looks at a sorority house and then climb it.
I guess the heavy breathing kind of gave it away.
Yeah. Oh. So he looks in the windows, all the pretty girls, decides he's going to climb into the attic. Actually, doesn't he go in the front door first?
No.
Oh, no, he's just hanging out outside the front door.
Yeah, he's kind of looking in.
And somebody opens it, scares him off.
Yeah.
But not off enough.
No, they scare him up.
They scare him up like a cat up into the attic. Which, is the best home for a crazy man.
Yeah, the girls of the sorority house are having a Christmas party, and this unseen assailant, I guess, is shown climbing the side of the house. I guess. Oh, what would you call that?
The lattice. The
lattice.
The lattice.
Right. Yeah.
Makes his way up into the attic, and then makes his way down to a phone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're greeted with the very, very first phone call,
which is a recurring theme in the movie. And I have to say, the phone calls were hilarious.
They shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have been, but they were.
And that one,
I'm definitely going to be the odd one out here and say that to this day I find the phone calls relentlessly disturbing. I know that I'm the odd one out, but I still do to this day.
Well, what I kept on finding funny. Well, I kept on finding funny was the one girl kept on answering the phone, and she kept on saying, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
Hello? Like, you've been getting prank calls the whole fucking movie.
Is it the
Oh,
moaner?
Olivia Hussey, yeah, she delivers that line with so much theatrical drama.
Hello? Hello?
And it's a silly line in context at the beginning, and it gets sillier and sillier throughout the film.
It's
No,
like
you have the wrong number!
It's
Yeah.
the eighth prank phone call you've had in a row, and they just keep making the same noises and saying the same things.
Hello.
Yet she's still going, hello?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Well,
It didn't occur to her at any point that it was the prank call. I just found that so amusing.
yeah.
But how would you describe the prank calls?
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely sick. They can be hard to hear with the unfortunate sound editing. But it's clearly our resident intruder.
Do we
Terrorizing
do we
the
hear
film.
his name? Not yet, right? A
Hmm?
little later. Have we heard his name yet?
No, not in the first couple phone calls, but he basically goes back and forth between 2 or 3 different voices, and the pitch he reaches in these impersonations is incredibly disturbing. I actually wish we had OBS or sound for these shows, because I don't think we can really portray what we're saying here.
Well, we're assuming the people listening to this have watched it. Otherwise, they're going to have everything ruined for them forever. So, assuming you've seen it, you know what we're talking about.
But the first time they answer the phone, they seem to realize. Well, they seem to say that they've been getting these prank calls before, so it's obviously not the first call.
But is it him? I don't think it's him before. I think it's just maybe prank calls. You know, it's a college,
could
it's a
be.
sorority
It could
house, right?
I mentioned Italian horror film before. This movie has at least 2 red herrings. So
Yeah, I feel like, because the way she describes it, oh, is it the moaner or the breather? I think she said, one of the girls says at the beginning there.
well, there are 2 possibilities with that. One is they've been getting strange phone calls. Strangely, it's just a coincidence. And 2, it's a giant fucking plot hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not really. I mean, he could have been ringing them before he went and climbed in the window.
This is absolutely true, actually.
Actually, yeah, he would have.
That could be why he went there, because he has been, stalking them for some time.
Yeah, how would he know the number?
That's true.
If
Actually,
he has to have known the
dial
number.
That's
Yeah.
very, very true. And why would the phone upstairs have the number written on it for the phone downstairs? It probably
Exactly. And he'd need to know that there was 2 lines in the house too. Suggests he may have been watching them for a good long while. Because if you call,
he could have rang the operator and said, "I need the number for the phone downstairs."
I need the number for the phone downstairs. Sorry, I fixed that for you.
Beautiful. 10 out of 10.
Oh, come on. That was at least a 2 out of 10 delivery.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought you captured it. I'm wondering if you're actually the killer.
Oh, shit. He's in the house!
He's on the podcast. He's streaming from the other room. Well, he literally is, so...
He's making obscene sounds! What do I do? Hello?
Some of them with his mouth.
Who is this?
Who is this? I think you have the wrong podcast!
And it is Christmas, too. It's like almost Christmas, so...
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they start getting the prank phone calls, and
I enjoy Barb and him, their conversation, because
Barb is fantastic.
I want to lick your pretty pink cunt. It's wonderful. It's just, he's a charmer, this guy.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So-
that's not a good pickup line.
No, it's the best pickup line.
well, for a drunk like Barb, maybe. I mean, she kind of enjoys it a little. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we should mention the house mother.
oh,
The drunk.
speaking of
Yes.
drunk, yeah.
She's got liquor hidden all over that house, including in a Bible.
that was,
because nobody's in a Bible.
What's her
There's a
name
little
again?
attempt
Mrs. McHenry, I think.
Oh,
A
right.
little attempt at humor there, where
Yeah.
she had bottles hidden everywhere, a hollowed out Bible in the toilet.
I thought those scenes were pretty funny, actually. Very strange.
They were. They were.
Yeah,
they
they
very
were
funny.
strange, but I don't know if they were funny for the reason that they were intended to be funny. I thought they were funny because they were strange, not
Yeah.
you know.
She reminded me a little bit of the Lush orphanage runner from Annie, the Annie that was made in the 80s, making moonshine in her bathtub.
Oh, Ginger Annie. Yeah.
Yeah, Ginger Annie.
Yes. A hilarious movie.
I've no idea. I haven't seen it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna make you watch it now.
What, right now?
Yeah. Yep. Good night, everybody. Got something to do. Anyways, it's a very similar character, lush and funny.
I assume they still don't have house mothers or whatever they're called in sororities. I mean, I've no idea.
I think
I've
they're
never
both.
been part of a sorority, strangely.
Really? You got the tits
yeah.
for it.
Especially if I shave my nipples, then you know.
Oh,
Your nipple? You have nipple hair? Ew.
these headsets.
Around,
These headsets.
around the nipples.
No,
I heard
no,
you have
you
a
have
big
nipple hair confirmed.
Anyway.
I'm
after-
sorry.
I-
Are you
I don't
distracted?
I don't
Staring at
know
your
where
nipple
we go
hair?
from that, but anyway.
I don't know. Doxed. No.
We can only go up from there.
So do they still have house mothers in sororities?
I have
Den
no idea.
mothers.
What? What are they called?
Den mothers, I think.
Well, that sounds like a furry thing.
Oh, that actually. Wait a minute. No, that's like Girl Scouts. Close enough. Girl Scouts, sororities. What's the difference? Just more
Girl
booze.
Scouts, sororities, furry things. What's the what? This is
That's
disgusting.
the movie we're doing next week, isn't it?
Girl Scouts and furries. I didn't know we were delving into the porn collection.
Oh, I hope that's not porn. That'd be
Well,
disturbing.
it's
if it was.
definitely porn.
So anyway, one of the girls
There's adult Girl Scouts.
one of the girls retires upstairs.
She's
Yeah,
packing. She's going to see her dad.
Yep. And she's a townie, I think they describe her as. So
No. They were talking about another girl that got raped.
Oh, okay.
And one of them made a comment, "Oh, you can't rape a townie."
Yeah, but didn't she get offended at that?
She did.
Yeah, Claire.
Yes,
Claire's a bit of a square in this sorority. So
She is.
yeah,
And she's definitely not a townie because her dad came to pick her up from out of town.
and let's not forget before she
Did he-
retires
Did he
upstairs,
come from out of town?
her boyfriend does kiss her goodbye. So
Yes.
he's clearly involved with somebody. So yeah, she's a little
She's
offended,
kind of a prude.
a little bit.
Yeah, and she retires upstairs, and there's a little surprise waiting for her, I guess.
Yeah,
Our local resident crazy man.
is
Which
hiding in her
the
closet.
the death is quite jarring. It comes sort of out of nowhere because you expect this to be a slower burn, but no, she's very dead very quickly.
Well, again, this is one of the firsts for the, I suppose you could say, it wasn't a genre at the time, and I guess it still isn't. It's just kind of a subgenre, but the slasher genre. This is definitely the first, if not one of the very, very first popular North American films you could call a slasher. So
was this movie a big success in 74 or 73 or whenever it was made?
not really.
Okay.
Halfway there. It made its budget back, but barely, as far as
Yeah.
I But it wasn't a failure, I suppose.
I guess in the 70s and that there were a lot more of these movies because of drive-ins, the whole, B movie.
There were,
Yeah.
but nothing like this. This is actually one of the firsts. Like this is one of the first played not for laughs at all.
No, but I mean
series.
the low budget movies. I think they had more of a market in the 70s because of drive-ins. But I guess video would have taken over from that in the 80s.
Video was huge, yeah. Like not
Yeah.
6 or 7 years after the fact, but yeah.
And now I guess we've got streaming. So yeah, I guess that's what makes low budget movies like this one survive, I guess.
It does, I guess times really haven't changed that much when you think about it. In terms of how lower budget films actually gain notoriety. It's the same deal. It used to, in the 80s and 90s, you would go to the video store and rent it.
Yeah.
But now you just watch it on Netflix or whatever, when most people would ignore it, that particular title, and then it just kind of gains notoriety and popularity from there. Just
There's
like
been some pretty good movies on Netflix this year too. I think it's a good platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in 74, though I can't say it failed in theaters, but it didn't really do well. But in the home video market of the early 80s, this movie exploded.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be the case.
Yeah.
Video really opened things up, didn't it? Because you could just watch a movie whenever you wanted.
Wow, it actually had a huge budget for its time.
600 and something thousand, I think.
Yeah,
that's pretty big for its time. It's small. The thing is, low budget has actually gotten lower with inflation and lower time. Now, a convincing film can be made with $50,000 or less.
By the way, if you're both wondering, it did make $4 million at the box office.
Yeah, so a medium success based on its budget.
Yeah, it did pretty well considering the genre.
Considering, yeah. It's by no means, even in 74, that's by no means a knockout in terms of money making, but that's pretty respectable.
Yeah, it's not bad. It did okay.
One thing I often wonder is a lot of movies are considered a failure, but they must make their money back and then some on DVD and Blu-ray sales and rentals. Surely that should be factored in.
Well, they don't get anything from rentals.
They can, especially with streaming now. But think about it, in 1974, there was no aftermarket for this.
None. Oh, yeah, I realize that. But
absolutely zero. But now, yeah, they certainly do, especially with even YouTube rentals and stuff. As I don't think many people actually rent movies off of YouTube.
Actually, a lot do. It's surprising.
YouTube specifically?
Yeah, it's shocking. Wow. I was surprised.
But anyway, yeah, absolutely. They charge $3.99 Canadian for a rental of whatever movie, and I think there definitely is. Well, there obviously is some kickback to the studio and or filmmakers. So yeah, I think a lot of it, even if it fails in theaters or it doesn't even have a theatrical run, yeah, it can definitely make up its budget, I guess, even if it takes a year or two.
So anyway, the first girl is killed. If I remember correctly, she's suffocated?
Yes, with a plastic dress cover.
And dragged into the closet where she's her body is dumped.
Oh no! He takes her up into the attic with him.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Up in the attic. Yep.
Yes, up in the attic in a rocking chair.
Which is an awesomely shot scene. It's very, very jarring seeing her suffocated face just in the next scene all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Sitting by the attic window.
Which is weird. Nobody notices her the whole fucking movie, and she's sitting up there rocking.
Yeah.
And of course, the next day, her dad turns up, and because he's missed her, she's not there. He was meant to meet her, and she never turned up.
outside the university or college. Yeah.
And he actually runs into one of the other college students. Is he affiliated with them at all? I can't remember if he was the boyfriend or not, or is that later? That's later.
That's later. Yeah,
That's later.
He speaks to in the courtyard is just a random student
Who happens to be very nice and takes him over to the sorority house.
Yeah, we never hear from him again.
No. But Barb's very excited about this.
He's murdered off screen by a different serial killer.
Yeah.
So.
Of course, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So yeah, the girl goes missing, and nobody knows that she's actually hidden up in the attic, dead. So they go to the police station, and there's a bit of a search for her.
No, there isn't. He waves them off and goes, "Oh, she must be shacked up with her boyfriend somewhere."
Oh, that's with the fellatio thing.
Yes, you have. We meet Inept Cop because Inept Cop has to further the plot a little bit. We need him to be bumbling and stupid.
I think Moron Cop would be a better.
Yeah, actually, legitimately, probably retarded when he doesn't realize that fellatio is not a phone number.
Yeah, good old Nash. Sorry.
Yeah,
fellatio. That's an Italian ice cream, isn't it?
It's a new area code. FE.
I should let everybody know at this point that this man is a sergeant.
Yes, he's at the front desk of this fucking cop shop, taking all the hysterical emergencies, and goes, "Oh no, missing girl. She's probably just shacked up with her boyfriend somewhere. I don't have to take that's fine."
To be fair, that's probably the most logical conclusion.
Yeah, I would say so, but like, it's a little bit seriously, maybe.
I know.
An iota.
Yeah.
Because she's been missing for, like 20 hours at this point.
Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What time was she meant to meet her dad?
1 o'clock.
So probably just an afternoon, but it's very strange for Claire to be missing.
Nobody'd seen her since the night before, around 10.
Well, because she left. Maybe she was going somewhere.
Well, no, she went upstairs to her bedroom, and then nobody saw her.
Yeah, nobody saw her leave. That's the problem.
Nobody saw her again after that.
She's missing, so.
Yeah, exactly. She's missing, and the cop's an idiot. Which we find out how much of an idiot when he doesn't realize fellatio's not a phone number.
Yeah, Barb, the resident drunk, gives the address to the sorority house as fellatio. That's FE.
We skipped over something rather important.
Probably, yes.
Barb has a phone call with her mother at the very, very beginning of this, and she's supposed to go away with her for the holidays, but her mother wants to get laid, and so dumps her and says, "Nah, I don't want you there because I want to hang out with my boyfriend instead."
That's right.
Which is why she's such a drunk mess right now, because she's depressed.
Yeah, that's actually a detail that's hard to catch, but it is there.
Yes. Anyways, moving along. Return to the cop. They try to make a report. Doesn't go that well for them.
So
isn't there a report for the phone calls too? So.
Yeah. Is the next scene the dinner at the sorority?
Yeah.
With drunk Barb?
Mm-hmm.
Good old drunk Barb, always good for a laugh.
So Dad's very worried at this point. It's in the evening now. Still haven't heard anything. Barb goes off on a drunken tangent about how everybody's blaming her.
The boyfriend's gotten involved at this point too, right? So.
No, not yet. This happens just after dinner, I think.
Oh, okay.
Before the search party. In between there. Anyways, she goes off.
Drunk Barb makes a fool of herself. Yeah, and drunk Barb is very considerate to the father who's got a missing daughter. You know.
Oh, very much.
She doesn't act like a drunk asshole at all.
No. She doesn't make it all about her or anything. No.
No, of course
No,
not.
no. That would be unladylike. Very unbecoming.
Undrunk like.
Undrunk. And she gets curtly put in her place by the little nerdy girl with the afro and the glasses.
Phyllis, yes.
Phyllis! Of course, she has like the stereotypical dorky name, too.
Yeah.
Go to bed, Barb, you're drunk! So she storms off to bed, because that's a good place to be. The house is super safe.
Definitely no killer.
No.
I'm
Fine.
trying to remember, do they get any more phone calls in that period?
I don't think we've seen any interactions with the breather yet.
Oh well, yeah, we have. At this point, he's hasn't he rocked the Casbah?
Actually, wait, no, you're right. We
have seen his insanity a little
Yeah.
bit. He rocks Claire's dead body at some point in between this,
and he's talking to her a lot.
in the insane voice, which is really hard to portray.
Yeah. Shrill female voice, I suppose, is a way to describe it.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not going to do it again for anybody.
So what gets the police to take it serious? It's the boyfriend, isn't it? He reports,
No, actually, well,
and the police suddenly
another-
take it serious because
Another lady comes in and actually reports somebody missing.
Claire calls as well at some point.
Claire doesn't. Claire's dead.
No, not Claire. What? Who's the hello?
Oh, Jessica. Or
Jessica. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
I think they. Yeah.
Yes, she calls and reports it, and Mr. Lieutenant Nash doesn't take her seriously either. He's like, okay, you're getting crank phone calls, whatever, writes it down.
Yeah.
And then the boyfriend and Jessica go to the police station together, and he goes directly to the police chief and says, like, this guy's not taking this seriously. They're getting crank calls to the house, and this girl's missing.
Yeah.
In which case, at which point the lieutenant looks at Nash and goes, "Don't you think maybe we should look into strange phone calls going to the house of a missing girl? Maybe, probably."
Well, you would think so, right? So Nash is. He looks taken aback by this.
And there's also a weeping mother whose 13-year-old daughter is missing.
Yeah, very, very big plot point. We'll soon find out.
Yes. So
I'm sure that's just a coincidence.
Absolutely.
So we finally have the police taking this seriously. And this is when Nash hands over his notes. with fellatio as the phone number for the sorority house.
I guess the other deputy or whoever has already read them.
Yeah, and he's laughing
Trying
his
to stifle
ass
his
off.
laughter.
Oh, bad job. At this point, he's pissing himself. Did Barb give you this?
Yeah, fellatio. It's a new area code.
Effie!
So anyway, they do a search of the park.
Yeah.
Or the grounds, local grounds, and they eventually find a body.
Which we don't see. Which kudos to the woman that plays the mother.
Yeah, that is very, very good delivery.
Yeah,
We
we don't need to see it. We know without seeing it.
Yeah, she's definitely probably mutilated.
Very, very dead.
Yeah, very dead. Anyway, a 13-year-old girl is dead. That's already disturbing enough. We don't need to see that.
No.
So,
So then they go to the house to bug the phones.
mhm. Because they've been getting, I think, more calls in between there. I think, doesn't Phyllis get one? Or I think...
Oh shit, we done missed a thing.
Who is this? Hello. Who is this?
We missed Peter and Jessica's.
Oh yes.
Yes,
Very
very
important.
very important.
Very important, yeah.
So
Peter is Jessica's
boyfriend.
boyfriend. and Jessica, we find out via a phone call that she has something really important to tell Peter. And at this point in the movie, we find out what she's pregnant, very early term.
But she doesn't want to keep it.
No, she wants it. She tells him flat out she wants an abortion.
Yeah. And
she's gonna get an abortion, and that's the way it goes.
And he's very distraught. And she says she wasn't even going to tell him, which in retrospect might have been a good idea.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, and he says, "You know what this night means to me." I guess he has a rehearsal, a piano recital,
and it was an audition.
An audition. That's what yeah. So she definitely picked a bad time to tell him this.
Yeah, should have waited a day, maybe.
Yeah,
not great timing.
No, that was pretty shitty of her, actually, to say it that way.
Yeah,
at that point in time.
Yeah, wait a day. Maybe she didn't expect him to get quite so upset.
No, maybe not. I mean, she's only human, but still, I mean, come on.
Yeah, you could have waited a day. So he's very distraught. He wants to quit everything and get married and
yeah, we hear him say, like, he's pissed off and distraught. He says, "You can't kill the baby. Why didn't you talk to me first?
Yeah,
you know how important this night is to me.
If you do this, you'll be sorry."
Yeah. The vague, almost a threat at that point. Not really. I mean, he's very emotional. So
yeah, he's very, very upset.
Yeah. So.
And she leaves, and then at the house, he's there. And she gets an obscene phone call, and he kind of jump scares her and us a little bit.
Yeah. Well, she gets a phone call right after this, or shortly after, right? And she doesn't know that he's upstairs.
No, so he shows up.
The murderer, that is. The
No, Peter.
Peter's
in the house. Sorry. Peter's in the house, comes downstairs. He's taking a nap in her bed. And
he goes, "What's all the screaming?"
And she goes, "You scared me half to death."
Yeah.
This is when she's on the phone reporting that call to the police. And they're putting her on hold. And she's reporting it to the phone company.
That's right. So this is the first red herring, or is it?
Dun, dun, dun.
But the caller repeats words that Peter has said, or that's a bit later, though. Isn't it?
That's. Oh wait, yeah, no, you're right. That's the next phone call.
It is the next phone call, but it all takes place in the same evening, so it's okay if we jump around a little.
But that next phone call is important because Peter's not present for that one.
No, this is after his audition.
Yes, so this particular phone call he's in the house for.
Yeah.
And she's on the phone with the phone company trying to figure out how to stop the phone calls, and he's there trying to talk to her about this baby.
Yeah.
That's when she hangs up the phone. They get into a pretty heated argument about it, and that's when he makes the threat and storms off.
It is after, don't forget though, he does say, "What was all that yelling about?"
Yes.
Couldn't get any sleep. Also important.
Yes. So he storms off, and then the recital happens. And Jessica goes with Claire's boyfriend to report it to the actual police because she can't get anywhere with the phone company. They're not very helpful.
No. The recital doesn't go very well.
No, the recital does not go very well. And he proceeds to destroy his piano with something.
The seat.
That wasn't part of the act? I thought he was just,
Oh, it's an interpretive dance kind of thing.
It's too bad.
Yeah, doing the whole rock star thing where you smash your guitar at the end of it. So,
He could have played it up, made it like, this is my interpretation of this piece of music. It sounds awful, but it's art. Hire me anyways.
Is that how everybody passes school now? They just pretend to be David Lynch and move on?
True. Yeah. It's art, fuck you. You just don't understand. So now we're sort of caught up to speed because the next phone call comes just after they've bugged the phones.
Yeah, the police finally come and they bug the phones.
They bug the phones, and that means that whenever it rings, they can pick it up on their end and listen to it. But it's old timey times. She has to keep him on the phone for a while for them to trace it.
Yeah, because the fella at the phone company has to actually track the call physically and see what is responding.
He's got to run
through tens of thousands of different receptacles, I guess.
Yeah. So she's on the phone with we find out his name is Billy at this point because he talks to himself in the third person quite a bit. So she's on the phone with Billy.
Hi, it's me, Billy.
Hi, it's me, Billy.
What about the baby?
I know what you did to the baby.
Yeah.
In that shrill man putting on a woman's voice.
Incredibly disturbing to me.
Very. It isn't, but out of context, they're quite funny.
Yeah. I must be the odd one out. I don't find it funny at all.
Not when you're watching it.
Gives me fucking chills, man.
So we're getting a little bit of Billy's backstory here.
Yeah.
Which we can talk about theorizing what all those puzzle pieces go.
Yeah,
but
most of them are pretty obvious, but yeah.
Exactly. Jessica described it to the police as a man and a woman fighting, quite loudly. So it seems Billy is taking the roles of a baby, himself, his mother, and his father, all at once, all shrill and screaming at each other. But at this point, he repeats something verbatim that Peter had said to her very recently. And she
not killing the baby and you'll be sorry.
Yeah. If you kill that baby, you'll be sorry.
Yeah.
And at that point, she goes, "Oh my God," and and he hangs up the phone, which is of course not quite long enough for them to trace it.
Mm-hmm.
And the police constable calls and says, "Why did you react like that? Do you think you know who it is? Because if you do, you should tell us. Because we want to figure this out." And she pretends that she didn't. Yeah. I'm guessing because she doesn't want it to be Peter.
Well, yeah, it's a spur of the moment decision at that point. Yeah.
I'm protecting my boyfriend from getting arrested because he's upset and distraught, which is fair, I guess, of her at that point. And she's discussing this with Phyllis after she gets off the phone, that she thinks it could be Peter. And is it Phyllis that asks her if Peter was in the house for any of the calls?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so she has an epiphany.
And the police chief also asks her a bunch of those questions too. But yeah, Phyllis definitely starts it.
Yeah, it's Phyllis where she actually has like the sparks go off. She realizes, oh, he was in the house for that phone call. It couldn't have been him. He was here the whole time.
And she's really relieved too.
Yeah, because he's unhinged.
Yeah,
like
he's pissed and upset, and you can't blame him for hearing news like that when you're not expecting it.
And some people when it comes to abortion, they really feel like it's a baby immediately. And if you
I have to wonder if abortion was in the news at that particular time when the script was written.
Possibly.
Well, it is a Canadian production, and that's the time of. Well, okay, I think that is the time of Trudeau the First. So, yeah, it definitely. No, I think so. It definitely would have been in the news at that point. But John Saxon's character of the police chief, I can't remember his name, definitely takes the approach of. Oh, that's a strange way of putting it. That comes a little bit later, but.
Yeah, but I think they handled it fairly well. If they were going to insert some kind of message into it,
I think they handled it from a centrist's point of view.
Yeah, so. They highlighted both perspectives pretty well. I don't think they made her.
In the spur of the moment, I didn't find Peter to be completely out of it either. He was pissed and
and it does it's of course unfair because they don't get a choice at all.
Yeah,
I don't think it's pro or anti. I think it was probably just in the news at the time, and the writers thought that was a hot topic, or it inspired them to put it in it. So
no, you may be right, but what I mean is both characters, the character of Peter and the character of Jessica, like Peter wasn't made out to be the bad guy in that situation, and neither
No,
was Jessica.
no.
No, you sort of feel for both of them. She says, "I have dreams, and I still have those dreams, and I want to pursue them."
Yeah, which
Says, but I want the baby.
yeah,
Like you feel for them both.
I do, and I can see why Peter is like completely fucking batshit at this point. Like,
Yeah, he thinks of it as a baby, which is the way a lot of pro-lifers will think about abortion.
well, yeah, no. So it is
Right?
what it is anyway. So he's incredibly pissed off. So
Yeah.
Jessica's really relieved when she has this kind of epiphany that it couldn't have been him logically, right? She wants to believe that, but
that moment when she realized he was in the house for that phone call, so it couldn't have been him.
yeah,
She's just all sorts of relief.
yeah, of course.
And at this point, I think she gets on the phone with the police chief again.
Yes.
Oh no, she's still on the phone.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she's on the phone and talking to Phyllis at the same time. Yes.
She doesn't hang up at all.
No.
While walking there.
No. That whole conversation kind of happens all together. So she says to the police chief, "It couldn't have been Peter. It couldn't have been him. He was in the house," and that's when he starts suspecting Peter, anyways.
Yeah.
Because that's a strange way of putting it. That's a strange thing.
Yeah, you can't kill the baby, Jessica. That's where the.
Yeah, that's why he's saying that's a strange way to put it. So he has planted the seed of suspicion in his head.
In the police.
So then, yes. So then he's asking her where he might be, and she said if he's upset, he's probably at the piano hall.
Yeah.
Which smashing up another piano.
Smashing up another piano.
As he does. As you do after a piano recital, whether it goes well or not.
Yeah, you just gotta rock
he goes
out.
through a lot of pianos. Yeah, it's an expensive act. So.
It is. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
He plays it with his teeth a little first.
Yeah. Anyway, so the police chief sees this, and it definitely sparks even more suspicion in his head, and rightfully so at this point.
Well, yeah, destruction of beloved thing.
Yeah.
And he's not there either. We don't know where he is.
No, he's nowhere to be found.
And at this point in the house, Barb has a wonderful fucking asthma attack and starts making a lot of scary sounds. Jessica runs up to her rescue.
I gotta say, as a person who actually has asthma, that's an incredibly accurate depiction of asthma.
I'm so glad you don't have sleep apnea though, because oh god, I don't think I'd ever sleep.
Oh god, yeah. No, but the middle of the night can't fucking breathe all of a sudden. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, she probably, with somebody with asthma, probably shouldn't get that fucking drunk and then go to sleep.
No, probably not.
I imagine it's not a good combination.
No, I wouldn't assume so. Anyway, she definitely sells it, but Jessica wastes no time getting up there, being the good friend she is. So
helps calm her down, get her back to sleep.
Yeah.
And at this point, Phyllis is dead tired, wants to go to bed. She's got a cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's done. She's been up for quite a while too with Jessica, just trying to figure all this shit out. So.
Well, they get scared. They get scared by another search party.
Yeah. The bumbling idiots.
Yeah, the awkward girls.
Another strange comedy scene that is funny but falls flat.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
It seems out of place, but it's amusing.
It does, but it's actually pretty well written, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know what sells that scene for me? It's the girl's reaction.
Yeah, because it's real.
Yeah, it is.
Go away.
Yeah, they're giggling as the conversation is ending.
Yeah.
You know, and as soon as they close the door, it's actually really convincing.
Yeah. It's laughter at the rednecks with their rifles doing a manhunt for nobody.
You know what? I can imagine that scene where the director said basically, okay, this is kind of what's going to happen, but they didn't quite tell them about that. It seems like almost an ad lib scene. It's pretty cool, actually. I like that scene a lot.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's fun. So,
Yeah, anyway.
Who dies first, Phyllis or Barb? I can't remember. I think it's Phyllis. Or are they sort of like overlapped?
Well, they're kind of expendable meat at this point, but
Yeah. So actually,
there's actually been a long time between murders at this point. There was a murder at the start. They did find the body of the dead girl, which we didn't see.
no, what we can assume to be the killer at large. Whoever.
We don't know though.
That was probably done beforehand.
We don't know for sure, but
because you really think he crawled out of his little happy hole up there in that attic to go and murder a 13-year-old girl?
No, this happened before. This is before. This would be before.
Oh, well, no, because he came the night. He came that. Oh, it was that night. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
And the park is on the way to the sorority.
No, you're absolutely right. My bad.
Yeah, so we saw a murder like very early on, and now we're in the final act. There's not much of the movie to go, and that's when we start to get more murders.
Yes,
I enjoy Barb's murder quite a bit, actually.
Barb's murder is a throwback, even at the time, to what I always talk about every darn show, which is the Italian genre of giallo, which is that straight.
Not fellatio.
Oh, sorry, my bad, fellatio.
No. The lighting on his face, where it's just all his eyes.
Yeah, and it's the slow motion, and it's that really strange voyeuristic murder scene.
Wide-eyed, nothing inside his head. Eyes.
Bane, I'm not sure if I think we've discussed it before, but I'm not too sure if you've seen a lot of Italian slasher movies like that, like Deep Red or Suspiria.
I'm familiar with them. I'm not overly familiar with them, but
they have that.
I know what you're talking about.
They have that strange, almost beauty to the murder scenes.
And they're super colorful.
Yeah, very colorful. The colors pop.
Yeah, very bright.
It's just everything is accented and just in focus, and it's almost beautiful the way they're shot. And I think that this scene is the highlight of the whole movie for me. Is Barb's death.
Yeah, she gets murdered with a glass unicorn.
Yeah. Which is, oh man, definitely one of the, as a slasher movie fan, one of the best, I guess, murders in slasher or horror movie history, in my opinion.
I think there's one in Suspiria that tops that, but if we do that, we'll talk about it another time.
Comparing slasher movie murders to Suspiria is just unfair.
That's true. Okay, well, Kevin Bacon getting that arrow through his throat's pretty fabulous, too.
In Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah, also. Yeah, unfair. Anyway, yeah, awesome scene. So Barb's dead.
Barb's dead. Phyllis is still alive, sort of. Yeah, she's still.
How did Phyllis die? My God.
I don't know if we see her die. Oh, we totally skipped over Mother Hen getting fucking.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, at the beginning of the movie. Shit.
Oh no! In the middle. She's supposed to be going away for the holidays, as everybody else is going away for the holidays, and she goes after her cat. Thinks he's in the attic.
She's also grabbing Nips.
Oh, yes, I remember that now.
Also an awesome scene. She's also grabbing
a
Nips.
hook or something? I can't remember.
It's a hook. Yeah, it's a hook.
Yes, I'd totally forgotten about that.
Yeah. She gets hooked, and he drags her up into the attic. But you see, it's that same lighting with just his eyes in the attic, too. And he's holding that hook above his head, just waiting, hoping she goes away, which I found a little bit strange, considering... Yeah. He seems to like the murdering.
Okay, so, can I just interrupt here just for a minute? To me, and to a lot of people, just kind of the horror movie quote unquote community as a whole, this movie actually has one of the most iconic single scenes in horror movie history. Speaking of eyes. You kind of catch glimpses of it throughout the movie, just with the close up of Billy's or Peter Red Herring's eye.
Oh yeah, behind the
We'll get to that later. Yeah,
there's a shot where we get a very that's coming. We haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't. No, but anyway, yeah, the scene with the house mother is awesome.
Yes, she's been dead for a while. So it goes Claire, house mother, Barb, and then Phyllis.
Yeah.
And I think Phyllis is just she just gets yanked behind a door. We don't actually see her death.
No, we don't. No.
Yeah.
No.
She gets put in a provocative position with Barb in their bed, though.
Oh yeah,
which
that's right. When Jess, the very first final girl in film, discovers them.
But before that, we get a phone call, another phone call, and this one's long enough. And they trace it, and they find out it's in the house.
That's so right.
They know the kid.
That's the big
Yeah.
reveal.
Yeah.
So the police are now aware that the guy is in the house. Jess is in there, supposedly with 2 other girls, but the police chief calls.
Just before we go on, though, the phone call. We traced the phone call to inside the house. Yeah. Was this the first movie to use that?
Absolutely not.
So,
again, pointing out my apparent inability to research or take notes before one of these shows. I do know the movie and/or movies you are talking about and TV episodes, but I don't have them written in front of me.
So it was a trope before this was.
It absolutely was, yeah. Becoming a trope, yeah. The phone call is coming from inside the house, yeah. No, this is certainly one of the films to popularize that trope for sure.
It's a good hook, but it's become a little bit cliche. I think it
has, but I don't think it was in 1970.
I really
no. I'm not saying it was then, but it definitely has become cliche since.
It wasn't a twist in this movie, though. We've known he's in the house the whole time.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, but it's a big reveal to them, though.
It's been done. It's been done a couple times via TV. Sorry, I'm looking at the movie right now on DVD. It's called When a Stranger Calls, and it's actually was filmed 5 years after Black Christmas. So.
Okay.
So the call is coming from inside the house. It's inside the house. Get out is from When a Stranger Calls, not Black Christmas.
Because the Black. With Black Christmas, it's the guys in the house.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
But the obviously the people in the house don't know. So it's
no.
It's a big reveal to them.
Yes,
Nash is an idiot. He gets a call from the police chief who says, "Don't fuck this up, Nash."
Oh yes, that's right.
Call her, tell her to put the phone down, and calmly walk outside. Don't tell her he's in the house. Just tell her to walk outside.
Yeah.
Now, there's a police officer outside who we've seen that is already dead.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that yet, actually.
Yes, we just saw it. Just as the police chief calls Nash.
Okay.
That he's dead. We get that pan up from the side of the car because he's trying to get in touch with him. He's radioing him, and he's not answering.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So we see the body. And then he radios the station and goes, "Nash, you need to call her because I can't get in touch with the officer and tell her to go outside. Don't tell her he's in the house, just tell her to go outside." And what does Nash do? He calls her and he goes, "Are you the only one in the house?"
Yeah, and he fucks it up immediately.
And she goes, "No, there's 2 other girls here."
And the killer.
But to Jessica's knowledge, they're Phyllis and Barb are still upstairs.
Yeah, she doesn't know that they're dead. So he says, "You got to put the phone down and get out of the house." And at this point, she's going, "But I should go get my friends."
Yeah.
Because he's asked her about them, and she starts to panic a little bit. And he goes, "No, you just have to get out." And he goes, "The guy's in the house. Get out now." which freaks her the fuck out. Goes, and so she wants to save her friends. Which, I mean, I can't say I blame her.
No. In this situation, I don't either. It's
Barb,
a little.
though, really? Would you want to save Barb?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
probably. She's funny.
she is funny.
Yeah, okay.
Come
no,
on, she's funny.
Honestly, I actually, you know what? This is one of those horror movie things where Jessica's character, it doesn't really irritate me aside from the hello.
Hello.
No,
Who is this?
I mean, she
You
clearly.
have the wrong number.
You know what? This is the instance where a stage actress, like herself, really shouldn't be slumming it, but didn't
Don't
have a
emote
choice.
so much. So she runs upstairs to try to rescue her friends.
Yeah, with the fireplace poker. Yeah.
Yeah. No, she doesn't have that yet.
No? Oh,
No.
okay. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. There
She's
you go.
she's nude. She's
Yeah.
she's nude. She's weaponless.
She's not
upstairs.
actually nude. This isn't an Italian film.
Yeah, no, we already mentioned there's no tits in this movie. Like,
Oh,
actually,
not
none.
It's pre-tits.
No
No.
tits.
American tits.
Well, and that and Olivia Hussey is far too proud to show her tits on screen. Fantastic actress, but no tits.
Okay, so she goes upstairs and finds Barb and Phyllis in a rather provocative, bloody embrace.
Yeah, with the zoom
And-
in and everything.
Yeah, and this is where we get the shot of Billy's eye.
One of the
In the-
one of the top 10 most iconic scenes in horror movie history.
Yeah, in the crack.
You're saying his eye was iconic?
It was
I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you both. Stop it. Stop it.
and his voice in this scene too. You see his eye and Jessica's face with that zoom in. And
Well, she
I'm
seems
just
to recognize it.
she does, but I'm just trying to it probably looks like a certain someone, but
Uh-huh.
it's the dialogue at this point. All the music fades down. This is where the sound engineering, the only point in this movie where the sound engineering is actually good. All the sound dives down and the killer just whispers, "It's me, Billy. Don't tell him what we did." It's just it's so disturbing and
I have goosebumps.
so well done.
Really is. It really
Like-
is.
Like so well done.
Well, he gets a face full of door.
He does. Oh, big time. Jessica just slams that fucking door right into him, and he doesn't react well.
No, we get a lot of grunting and screaming at this point. She runs
Yeah.
down the stairs. He gets a fistful of her hair because why wouldn't he, right?
Yeah.
And she runs for the poker. She's got
Yeah.
the poker now. Can't get out the front door because they've locked up the house tight. And for some fucking reason, the front door of this house locks from the goddamn outside.
You know what? And you've noticed that 20 minutes before too. That's really fucking weird. Why
Yeah.
does the door lock from the outside? That's bizarre.
Yeah, the front door locks from the outside. It's very weird.
Yeah. And the reason is plot.
No, it's to stop the girls going out and slutting about, I think.
Yeah, actually, you know what? It's 1974. It's
Yeah,
you
lock
you
them
might
in
be
the
right.
house.
You might be right, and that's the sad part.
So, of course, in typical horror movie fashion, she runs into the fucking basement because why wouldn't you?
Of course.
Runs into the basement, locks the door.
With Billy screaming and pounding on the door.
Yes, and the screaming like a freaking banshee.
Very disturbing and awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it stops dead.
And you hear him walk off. He walks away.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, from outside the house, we hear Peter. Jessica. Jessica.
Yeah, and you see his silhouette come to the basement window.
And he's
He calls-
knocking.
and he sees her too, kind of. Hey, is that you? You can.
He rubs the ice off the window. We see
Yeah.
his face.
And he busts the window with his elbow. As you do. It's that easy.
He gets into the basement, and she's hiding from him at this point.
And she is dead with fright at this point. For
Yeah.
anybody who,
In actual shock. I don't think there's brain much.
No, probably not. Other than this man is going to kill me.
But we get a nice lit up shot of his eyes at this point.
Yeah.
And he and Billy have strikingly similar eyes.
Do they ever? Yeah.
To the point where I actually wonder if they used the same actor for both.
They did, in fact.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
To further that. So she thinks he's coming for her to murder. For
Yes.
the murders.
In
And
shock. Absolutely in shock. Yes.
I genuinely don't. This bit of the movie, I understand it does bother me. I can't, because of the way he's talking to her, the fact that she doesn't answer him at all. Like but I mean, we don't see what happens.
We don't, but I give her the benefit of the doubt that she is in complete stupor.
Yes. So she pummels him to death with the fucking poker.
We assume. Here's the thing, though. She just saw two of her very best friends, who she knew for probably a number of years, maybe even a very, very long time, dead in a very provocative, bloody embrace on a bed.
Yes. And she got chased by this guy, and then
somebody who she thought was Peter.
Well, she didn't really know at that point, but that it was the coincidence. The banging on the door stopped. Yeah. He disappeared, and then all of a sudden he was outside the windows.
I think it's completely believable.
I
think her reaction is 110% believable. I personally do.
It's not just that; it's his reaction too.
Yeah.
Like, she's not answering you. Obviously, she's terrified. You know her fairly well. Yeah, why would you approach her when she's that? Like, I don't know.
Well,
maybe
she's his girlfriend. Of course, he would approach her and try to comfort her.
Yeah, I guess so. I suppose.
Regardless of the fireplace poker.
It's just, I suppose the first swing of that thing would have made me hightail it out of there. But
it depends where she hit him.
I don't know how many swings of a poker it takes to murder.
Anyway, Jessica clearly kills him, because in the next scene, the police arrive and bust into the basement with the police chief and find Jessica holding Peter's dead body in her arms. She's comatose.
Yeah. He's dead. Very dead.
Yeah.
And the police are convinced that it was him all along at this point.
Thanks to
Billy. Billy has scampered back up into the fucking attic.
As we soon see.
Yes.
Yeah. In one of the most downbeat endings I have ever seen.
I actually forgot.
This is 1974, don't forget. For anybody who watches this after or who has seen it. This is 1974. And we get this relentless downbeat ending. It's unheard of.
And it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Take your children to see Black Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
But really though,
there's no sound during the credits, the final credits. No music.
There is sound.
There's
You're
sound.
lying.
Sorry, no music. I corrected myself. No
but no, we're skipping over the ineptitude of all these fucking police officers. The house is crawling with them. They're clearing out bodies. Yeah. She's comatose in a bed. Like,
why wouldn't you check the attic?
Unresponsively comatose. I could see them not checking the attic. Why the fuck would you leave a comatose girl alone in a house?
Take her to the hospital. Even in 1974, take her to the hospital.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They had the officer outside, which fair, but why was there not somebody with her in case she woke up?
So the final credits are the basically the very first shot of the film, but with a unanswered phone ringing over it.
Yeah, Billy's making another call.
Uh-huh.
Which to me...
where do you think he's going to go when nobody answers that phone call?
Oh yeah, she's dead. She's so dead.
Yeah.
She was so dead. They caught him after that, but she was so dead.
I would assume they caught him after.
Oh yeah, because where's he going to go? He's going to drag that body up to the attic, start making puppets out of it. And they're going to be like, where did she go? Where did she go, George? Maybe they went on a manhunt for her and didn't look in the fucking attic again. Who knows? He's still up there.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this before I ask it, but has there ever been a sequel or a remake?
There has been a remake.
Oh, there has?
There has. 2004 oh gosh, God, 2009 or 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually pretty neat. Really, like I'm not just saying that. It actually was okay, but it missed the point of the original.
So how closely did it follow the original?
I'd say about 20%.
Okay, because I want to actually talk about a remake after we finish the our reviews, just briefly.
We certainly can. Yeah, Black Christmas
I watched
remake. Oh.
not of Black Christmas, but I watched a remake of a very, very famous movie. Actually, after we did our last show, and I just want to briefly touch on that at the end of the show.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, Black Christmas has had a remake. Wasn't very good, but it was kind of neat for what it was. Very gory, kind of fun. That's all I can say about it.
And did it have better sound?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, it had 2006. It was made. Yeah, it had 2006 sound. Yeah, the sound in the 1974 original is unsavable. It's they have tried. They've tried so hard to save it and to, I guess, like reissue it or redo it. They can't.
Well, it's a fairly common thing for actors to go back in and record sound anyway in movies, isn't it? So
it is.
I can't remember what that's called, but
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
And there's actually a job that people have making sounds for movies. Like someone's walking, they'll make the boots on sand.
Shit,
what a great job!
Yeah, no, apparently it pays well. I know exactly. I don't know the words. Yeah, I don't know the.
I can't think what it's called.
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess that's how a lot of movies with a bigger budget get over the sound issue. They just re-record the sound from scratch.
To this day, Scream Factory, which is a very, very popular distributor of kind of out of date or obscure horror films onto Blu-ray, they still haven't been able to save the sound of Black Christmas through 2 releases. They've tried very hard, but they just can't. And I think it's one of those things that's just kind of lost to history. It's just
yeah. I mean, it's still a good movie.
It is. I think it's quite good despite all of its shortcomings via the script and dialogue. I think it's actually really, really good, and I think it's really iconic. And I think it definitely paved the way, for better or for worse, depending on who you talk to, for the American slasher genre. More so than even Halloween. I mean, Halloween wasn't a slasher movie. I think Halloween is a wholly different film than Black Christmas, even though they're both slow burns. I think Black Christmas is
better.
Well, I was just gonna say not the superior film.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I think it paved the way, and I think they're both based on, just in name only, on holidays. But I know for sure that Halloween wouldn't exist without Black Christmas, and this is a fact. So this is John Carpenter found great inspiration from Black Christmas. So
I have a query. Have you both? I know Master Non's read it, but Bane, have you read it before? The book?
No.
Oh shit. Well, you're gonna be left. You're gonna be in the dark a little bit. You know Peter's character in the book, Master Non, right?
Yes.
Billy reminds me very much of Peter, if he were able to grow into an adult.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, his backstory was basically the same as Billy, where there's some kind of dissociative disorder where he thinks he's the only real human being in the world.
Oh, Peter, not Peter. What's his name? I think it is. What's the crazy kid's name in it?
Peter.
Is it Peter?
Yeah, it's Peter.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, yeah. No. Yeah, I think you might be right.
So, because he murders his little brother.
Yes. as a baby.
as a baby.
Yeah. It was written well after.
Yeah, so maybe King took some homage from it, because
It's possible.
that's definitely where the backstory of Billy is. I think is he killed his little brother, and the parents don't know about it, but he does.
Yeah.
And they fight about it, and he feels guilt.
Yes.
And goes more and more insane as time goes on.
Oh, yes, for sure. And we can only assume that Billy is kept in some kind of asylum, maybe, or maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe this was the point he just
Snapped.
got caught.
He got caught. It's safe to assume that the 13-year-old girl was killed by Billy in the park. I mean, it could just be a red herring.
But
I think a coincidence that there's another killer, but
yeah.
But I think it's safe to assume that it's Billy.
It's probably he killed her on the way to the house. I think you're right.
Well, the park is on the way, so
he sort of could have been traveling as a drifter, killing. Because they mentioned at the beginning there was a girl who had been raped and murdered. That's where the whole townie conversation.
That's right.
Yeah. So
I think the mystery is really compelling. I think the mystery is just dense enough to be compelling and not irritating.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good thing they didn't make Black Christmas 2, where they go into Billy's history and reveal that he's actually the half cousin of the main character.
Oh God. Actually, come on.
You're irritating allusion to Michael Myers right now. Yeah.
Come on, hey. The second Halloween's way better than the first one.
Oh, I disagree.
I'm gonna fight you so hard. The second one's way better.
No, but the contrived notion of all this added plot is
I think the relation was stupid. Other than that, the second one was much better. But much better paced.
Fair enough, but I'm glad.
It wasn't a goddamn snooze fest.
I'm glad. Regardless, I am damn glad that they didn't go into that in some kind of ridiculous sequel to Black Christmas.
Oh well, the new Halloween was better than the original anyway. So.
Oh, you're just trying to get me riled up here, aren't you?
It's working too. I can hear it in your voice.
Oh my goodness.
Bane, have you seen the new one yet?
Yes, he has.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
I think I told you last show.
time.
Did you?
Show,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I liked it.
Oh, that's good.
We agreed it was better than the original.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
We're gonna do this to him every show.
I'll scream into the void for a minute.
He's gonna, but he's really gonna do is go out into the backyard and cry.
Yeah. Those bullies.
They don't understand art.
Yeah, you guys are crazy. I'm still
You're
baffled.
crazy.
I will always be baffled by that, but that's okay.
Yeah, you just enjoy your sheeple art film that's boring as fuck.
Scariest movie I've ever seen to this day. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
so horror movies based on holidays.
Oh yeah.
What have we got? We've got Black Christmas, Halloween.
We've got My Bloody Valentine.
Friday the 13th obviously isn't a holiday, but it's a date. So
no, you know what? I would count it in there, kind of
Krampus,
as offshoot. Krampus, yeah.
Gremlins.
Well, yeah, but no, like just the okay. Krampus is a mainline one, but just the Easter. Is there one based on Easter?
Oh God, there's gotta be.
I know there are lots of like
Killer Easter Bunny.
Yeah, there are lots of those, but I mean like kind of a
what about the Arbor Day Massacre? Where that guy was killed with the pot plant. Have you seen that?
What? No.
I just made that up. So.
Yeah, I figured.
Such a dick.
I mean, no, I was just saying, I mean, what? What? No.
I mean, no, but I want to see it now.
It's a wonder they haven't, though. It's a wonder they haven't because they've run out of they've done every other holiday. I was trying to think of like an obscure holiday.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Oh, I'm what 420 horror film.
No, they've made those. There's Evil Bong by Charles Band. Like, I'm not even shitting you. Like,
Hey, there's
Full
some
Studios, yeah, Evil
Evil
Bong.
Bong. Okay,
Yeah.
420 Massacre.
Yeah, there's so many.
Hansel and Gretel Get Baked.
That was an awesome movie. So
Wait,
so
Bong,
awful. It was great.
Bong of the
We
Dead.
need an Easter horror movie, though. I think. I don't know. What would you have in it?
I'm not.
Well, obviously, Killer Easter Bunny.
Well, yeah, but
That's-
I'm talking, like, has there been like a semi-mainstream one, not just like
Holidays. Apparently came out in 2016.
what did?
Holidays. It's got the Killer Easter Bunny in the art.
Oh, could
There's
be.
Okay.
also one called Easter Sunday, and Easter Bunny Kill.
East.
You could have a movie where you could have like a werewolf Santa Claus and call it Santa Claus.
Wait, Bunny Man, the Bunny Man Massacre, Bunny Man
Massacre, really?
Bunny Man Vengeance, the
Okay.
Bunny Man, the Sleepy Ridge Murders, the Night Before Easter. wait.
You're gonna get into the porn ones eventually. So.
I think you're
Wait.
exaggerating.
No, I'm reading these all Easter horror from IMDb. Beaster Day, Here Comes Peter Cottonhell.
Oh no! Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Easter Casket.
Next movie.
What have you done?
Under Krampus.
Which is a fucking amazing movie. Watch it.
And
It's so good.
Krampus is awesome, but there have been so many bad offshoots of Krampus since 2015. It's not even funny.
Yeah, well, this one's good. This one's good. It's super fun. It's like a slightly more adult Gremlins.
Oh no, it is good. Yeah, it's definitely a good.
How would I describe it? Imagine Santa had sex with Satan, and they produced a child who then went on to terrorize National Lampoon's Vacation. Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Poor Mr. Griswold. Oh,
Oh yeah.
you know, if his lights didn't burn out, he wouldn't be in this fucking mess, right? He should have just got a generator.
They needed to keep the fire burning.
What an asshole.
Honestly, it's gorier Gremlins,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
It's directed by Michael Dougherty. He's the same fella who directed another classic holiday film recently, 2007's Trick or Treat,
Oh, which is awesome too.
which is a 2007 anthology film starring Sam the Sackhead.
He's very cute.
Yeah, that's an
Just
awesome
make sure you have candy for him.
you gotta make sure you respect the holiday, or Sam will come to get you. I'm actually disappointed that I didn't talk about that for Halloween this year.
Oh, next year. We'll get it next year.
Yeah. Anyway, the Michael Dougherty, the guy who directed this movie, is so talented.
It's the perfect amount of horror and humor. It's a hard to hit balance, I
Yeah.
think.
I think the movie has heart. It has heart, like
It,
Gremlins.
it does.
It really does.
But it's so depressing.
It is, and it's violent, but not, and it's funny. And there are a couple scenes that are very, very, very tense and actually intense.
I think kids over the age of 12 could probably watch this movie.
Absolutely, I think
Yeah.
I think this movie is the perfect candidate for the PG-13 rating.
Yeah, actually, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think it's just perfect. I think it's a
Is that
horror
what it's
movie.
rated?
It is. It's rated PG-13.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
I think it's literally the horror film for all ages in the best sense of the word, even more than Gremlins.
So yeah, I guess it's a soft horror.
It is. Yeah,
Like
it's a
comedy.
comedy horror film. Yeah.
It's a tiny bit bloodier than Gremlins.
Than your average horror comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some genuine moments of.
It's not nearly as gory as, say, Bride of Chucky,
No, of
but
course.
it's definitely gorier than Gremlins. It's right in the middle of those two.
Yeah, I think there are a couple scenes of genuine dread Just a couple. One of them comes very, very early,
Yes. Yes, it does.
which is a really, really very well filmed. You know what? The whole movie is just it's so well done. I think we should just actually start from the beginning. And I think the family drama is actually a benefit in this case.
I love the opening of this movie.
The family drama, or the family setup, did remind me a lot of the Griswolds.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sure it's heavily inspired by National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
It absolutely is, and rightfully so, because that movie is phenomenal. So,
The opening of this movie is like slow motion.
Yeah, it's
Boxing Day.
It's Black Friday, slow motion Black Friday.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve, but we get shots like if it were Black Friday.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you know.
It's beginning to look a lot like Hawk.
Fuck this.
Oh, yeah.
So how would you describe the family?
Their family, I would say, like the immediate family of I would say the main family and not the side family. They're just an average family.
Yeah, it's the cousins it's the cousins.
Yes, the cousins. The sister.
We spent a little bit of time on them, but yeah, the main family is just, I guess, an average family.
They live in a really nice house. Obviously, very well to do. Dad's got a really good job. I don't think mom works.
Yeah, they're just
son, daughter, like your most generic family unit, and grandma, who's very German. They're making cookies everywhere.
You know what? I love that. I love that about this movie. I'll say it right away. I love that she speaks
Me
German.
too. I love her. She's my
and that they all just understand her and speak. I love that part. It's one of those film things where you subconsciously overlook. It just doesn't matter.
It actually establishes that she perfectly understands English and they all perfectly understand German because they seamlessly communicate with each other while she's speaking German and they're speaking English.
They do, and it just works. And I the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people had a complaint about that, and it's like, oh well, why the language is different? Yeah,
That's dumb.
It's so stupid.
That's a dumb complaint.
But it's kind of important to establish that she is German.
Yeah,
it's like
it is
a major
actually
part of the plot.
And
it's a major plot point, and I think I just gotta say, I think it's very, very sweet that the family would do that for her.
And it's not abnormal for somebody. Nice. It's not abnormal for somebody to want to speak their native tongue when they can. Like, she speaks English, but she doesn't need to because they all understand her. So why would she bother? Actually, we have Mexicans that work for us who will speak to me in Spanish, and I will answer them in English.
And they
understand. And we can communicate with each other like that because I've been working around Spanish people for so long. I understand the language enough that we can communicate.
Yeah.
But I just don't like speaking Spanish, so I'm not gonna.
No.
I'd rather answer them in English.
I just mean from a filmmaking point of view, though. I just thought that was brilliant. I thought that
really was charming.
It's very charming. I thought it enriched the film.
It certainly did.
Too. It added something to the character.
Yeah, it did. It's
not just a generic grandma.
Yeah, it's very enriching.
And she was such a sweet lady. She was such a sweet little lady.
Yeah, she really is. Anyway, yeah, the family. How would I describe the family? Well, I would say dysfunctional, but that wouldn't really be fair.
They're not really. They're just normal.
No, they're normal. I mean, they're affluent. It's a very affluent family.
Oh, wait, are we talking about the cousins now?
No.
No. The main family.
But yeah, they're just normal.
Yeah, no, they're a very affluent family.
Teenage girl has a boyfriend she'd rather be spending time with.
Yeah, it just comes down to just normalcy, and the interaction between, gosh, I forget his name, the boy.
I don't remember.
Call him the boy.
Yeah, we'll just call him the boy.
Grandmother at the beginning. It's really charming. It's just great, and the way she boops him on the nose, and like it's just really nice. Okay, yeah. Look at me. I'm losing track.
Yeah, so there's the son, the daughter, the mother and the father, and the grandmother.
Yeah,
And they're just an average family.
yeah.
So let's move on to the cousins because they're more interesting.
They are. Yes.
Max.
Oh man, yeah, they're interesting. That's a way to put it.
Max is
Right,
the kid's name, by the way.
Okay.
Max, okay.
Yeah, so it's the family of the mother's sister, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's on the mother's side, I believe.
Yeah. Mother's side of the family.
And she's married to someone who's very fond of guns.
Howard. Oh my God. American Phoenix is in the chat. She's married to you.
Oh my God. Yeah. Actually, yeah. American Phoenix, you are Howard. I mean that in the best way possible.
He loves his guns and his big old truck.
Yeah.
He's listening to us right now.
He is. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. There you go.
So we're gonna call. We should just call American Phoenix. You are now Howard forever.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he loves his guns and he kind of thinks that Sarah's husband's a pussy.
Yep.
Little bit of libtard pussy.
Yeah. So the two families clash. That's a bit of an understatement. And the cousin family has 3 boys.
No.
Not quite.
There are 3 girls and a boy. Don't forget the baby. The baby exists.
Oh, sorry, the baby. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
sorry. No, there are 4 girls, according to Howard.
No, Howard has like 2 sons, and no, he loves his son. Come on now, Howard loves Howard Jr. That kid, that's the weirdest looking kid. Don't feed your kids until they look like that. It's so weird.
Okay.
I'm just saying. This poor kid is so fat he doesn't have a face anymore, and he looks weird. Don't feed your kids until they look like that. Unless they're born with diabetes, in which case not their fault, but still.
Wait, even if they're born with diabetes, you shouldn't feed them. Not like that.
Actually, that's true.
It makes it worse.
Well, I kind of assumed that like they got diabetes because they were so fat. Or what's the disease that makes you fat?
So hold on. Just to be clear, what you're saying is you shouldn't put your children on just a chocolate diet. Is that
probably not?
Probably not. Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
I think that kid ate cake, nothing but cake. So fat, no face.
Okay, well, weird. You know what? You two are fucking insane, and I'm out for the evening. So
bye.
Chocolate is amazing.
Oh, I love chocolate, but not every meal.
Why not?
You're not nearly liberal enough for me, so whatever.
Cock.
Anyway, yeah. So he's a fat ass, and his daughters are
also chunky.
Well, yeah.
They're also chunky tomboys. I would call them dykes if they weren't 12.
No, but it's not their fault. They've been raised as boys
because
father wanted to.
Oh man, you know what? That letter is awesome.
What are their names? Steve and
Stevie, and I cannot remember the other one. Hang on, I'll give you.
Yeah, the father gave him boy names because he wanted 2 sons.
Yeah, he wanted boys. He wanted just all boys.
Yeah. Well, fuck you. He didn't.
Actually, the girl, the little baby, the baby girl's name is Chrissy. So these.
Well, I mean, you're starting to get into actual girl's name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's far-reaching at this point.
Beth
anyway.
And Stevie.
Beth.
So she has a girl's name too.
The male equivalent is Beth.
Bart.
What?
Bart.
Bart. Okay. Whatever. Bill and William, I guess. I don't know.
They're tomboys.
Mm-hmm.
And Max still has some childlike love for Christmas.
Well, yeah.
Despite the family disaster that is going to happen every year.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's not forget the auntie's there too, the alcoholic auntie.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh yes.
What's her name? Oh man,
That actress is hilarious.
she's so funny. She's in so many movies. I should know her name. I feel bad for not.
Wait, hang on. Conchata Farrell. Chatta?
Okay, hold on.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so the two families don't get along too well, let's say. Understatement. And Max writes a letter saying he wished Christmas was like it used to be. And one of the tomboys grabs the letter and reads it out. And Christmas doesn't go down too well that particular night.
But the letter's very sweet.
It is, yeah.
He asks for things for everybody, just wants everybody to love each other, and
it's read during the dinner, the Christmas dinner.
Yeah. He wishes that his uncle didn't wish his daughters were boys, and
he wishes that his parents would fall in love again.
And he wishes that his aunt and uncle had an easier time. I'm guessing he knows they have issues with money. Yeah. It's very sweet. It's very selfless.
Yeah, it's actually
quite embarrassing that it's been.
It is very embarrassing to be read out loud. Yes.
Yeah, but I meant just to have that as a boy of his age. That's pretty awesome.
What is he? It's like 10?
Well, he's 10 or 11, maybe 12.
Yeah.
But it's still awesome to have that thought process.
Yeah, he's very sweet. It's very selfless. There's no toys and stuff. It's all just, I want my family to all love each other. It's what Christmas should really be about.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And
so there's a fist fight over this letter. Because why wouldn't there be?
Screw you, Max. Dad does not want us to be boys.
Yes.
That's the
end of it, and then it explodes. And we get a very nice little moment between Max and Omi. Omi is what they're calling German grandmother.
Omi, yes, yeah.
And she says, there's still plenty of time for you to mail that letter.
Oh.
And he goes upstairs and he's looking at it, and it's a little bit torn, and he puts it in the envelope, and then he gets angry, as you do when you're 10 and your family sucks.
Yeah.
He rips it up and he throws it out the window, and shit hits the fan.
Yeah, that was probably a bad move.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Because he got the whole neighborhood killed, really.
But actually, we have theories about whether or not. But I think you're right. I think the entire neighborhood died. I think everybody in the area. Yeah. I think
Krampus is in this film. I mean, I can call him that. He is a son of a bitch.
He's cruel.
Yeah, he's very cruel. Yes.
So, go ahead.
No, I've got nothing to say. He's just a son of a bitch.
He really is. So the next morning, there's a very, very, very bad snowstorm. Power's out. Everybody's bitchy, and Little Miss Thing wants to go and see her boyfriend.
There's also a delivery. Don't forget the delivery.
That hasn't happened yet. DSLK hasn't come yet. She leaves first.
and then the delivery comes.
Then the delivery comes, but they have to notice the snowman in the front yard.
Oh yes, the creepy snowman.
Yes, there's creepy snowmen in the front yard. It's very like a blizzard. Can't see 3 feet in front of you.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to let your daughter go out in that, but anyway.
He lives 4 houses down. I mean, as a parent, and she's not young. She's 14.
Was it only 4 houses? It seemed to.
Yeah, she said he only lives 4 houses down.
Sure, not 4 blocks, because they get in the car and drive down there later.
Yeah, but they don't get very far.
Yeah.
She said 4 houses. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, doesn't matter. Even 4 blocks isn't that far. Even in the snow. She's not a little kid. She's older, 15, 16.
Yeah.
You say that, but it doesn't turn out too well.
Well, no, but I mean, if I were in the situation, I'd let her go. Because like at this point,
Yeah, but you don't want kids. That's why you'd let her go.
That's true.
Well,
murder the bitch. She's ruined.
I don't want kids. I don't want grandkids either. And she's 16. She's
Hey,
prime.
it's one way. It's one way to get an abortion.
Yeah.
Abortion by Krampus.
Yeah, all of our male relatives are named Peter, and they'll freak out. So we just can't have that. Anyway, no, yeah, she.
So she actually leaves as the DHL guy comes up to the door.
Yeah.
To drop off this big, this box, and there next to the door there's a giant sack, and the Sarah's sister, whose name I cannot remember, answers the door and asks if that sack is also, and he goes, "I didn't bring that."
Yeah.
So of course she brings it inside because why wouldn't you bring a strange sack into the house?
Well, you know what? I would too. It's
me too. It's on the porch.
Yeah.
It's Christmas. It's probably presents, which it is, but not the good kind.
Yeah.
So we follow Little Big's teenage girl. Yes, socks.
Well, yeah.
Socks and underwear.
It's a sack full of socks, and
God
damn it, roll credits. Fuck it. Good night.
Anyway, she's walking and she's looking at the houses and she sees this big figure on one of the houses, and this is actually a rather unpleasant scene. It's very creepy.
It is. It's creepy. It's very well done. I like the whole atmosphere of this entire scene.
It's a lot of tone shift because it's very silly up to this point, and then all of a sudden it gets very somber.
It does, and I think it's a really effective scene. It's really super fucking intense.
And he's fast. Holy shit!
He's so fast, and the whole scene comes out of left field, I find. And I think this scene really cements this movie as a classic.
Oh yeah.
In the vein of Gremlins, I think it just has that awesome feeling. You know what I mean? Like I can't explain that feeling.
Yeah, so they make eye contact. She starts running, and Krampus starts hopping from rooftop to rooftop whilst following her. And she comes across the DHL truck, which does not have a driver in it. It's just idle in the middle of the street. And she launches herself underneath it and tries to hide.
Wait, she finds the DHL driver.
No, he's not in there, is he? Oh yeah, he's frozen. You're right. He's frozen to death.
He is frozen in a screaming grimace.
Yeah, it's the other vehicle that's empty. That comes later. The snowplow.
Yes.
Yes. Anyways, DHL truck frozen corpse. Wonderful.
So he got trapped in this whatever.
This hellscape, and you can't really get out.
Nexus or whatever it is.
He probably drove into what we call it like an alternate reality.
Yeah, that's what Bane was saying. That's what he was saying. Like, did he murder this whole neighborhood?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah, it's this strange.
This is based on a true story, isn't it? The Krampus murders of 2007. I remember hearing about that in the media.
Massacre! Whole massacre! No bodies! It was so confusing.
It was really a rabid kangaroo, wasn't it?
It was a rabbit or a kangaroo? Which one?
No,
a rabid kangaroo. I mean, Brisbane was shocked. Good God. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. Whatever.
Brisbane,
yes.
So anyway, she hides under the truck.
Yes, and we get to see Krampus's hoofs, his giant hoofs instead of feet, which I thought is awesome. And he walks very slowly around.
Well, you would too.
He was just launching himself from rooftop to rooftop. Motherfucker's fast.
Oh, motherfucker's just playing with her at this point.
Yes, he knows she's there. He's just fucking with her.
It must be hard to balance on two hoofs. That's all.
He's hopping from rooftop to rooftop, man. He's fast. He's agile. Fuck.
Okay, well.
Anyways, He leaves
what
her
happened?
he leaves her
what happened?
present.
There will be spoilers. Oh well, we had a falling out over Krampus and
The agility of Krampus.
2 hooves are better than 4, you
Cunt.
disastrous mother cunt.
and we couldn't go on with the show any longer. So
No, good night, everybody, for good.
Yeah,
death by Krampus.
death by hoof. Anyways, he leaves her a gift. What song is it playing? Because it stopped playing Pop Goes the Weasel. Some kind of, I think it's a Christmas carol.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And then it went on to something else.
It started off as Pop Goes the Weasel?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Jack in the Box thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, but did
We
it
actually
change to
don't-
something else, or was it just me?
No, I think it's just a Christmas carol. There's no
Oh.
Pop Goes the Weasel at all.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's a Christmas carol.
honestly, I recall it as Pop Goes the Weasel.
It's
so-
probably because it was fucking Jack in the Box and your brain just went, oh, Pop Goes the Weasel.
Well, I mean, that night I had like 10 beer or 2, so I.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
That was your birthday.
That was my birthday. He was really drunk.
I was trying to watch this movie and going like, "Oh yeah, that seems really great." And I'm like,
Pop Goes the Weasel.
It was your birthday. Did you get a wooden pickle?
I didn't.
Oh, it's
Disappointed.
disappointing.
"What kind of birthday was? Where the fuck did I put that? God,
You put it up your ass. You gotta dig it out.
Oh no.
is it under the- You shut up.
Oh,
You don't judge us. You just. Anyway, what?
Anyways, he leaves her a present and it fucking kills her. It's a Jack in the Box, but it's an evil Jack in the Box. We don't get to see it, but
No, but she does. Oh
but
my
she
God,
does.
She does.
And there's a good scream. She's got a good horror movie scream. I hope she does some more.
You know what?
I've seen her in other movies. I can't think what though. I recognize the actress.
Yeah, no, she's very, very recognizable, and you are correct. I'm gonna have to look her up though. What's her name in the movie? Linda?
Bitch.
No.
I don't remember.
No,
I've
I've seen her face though. I'm with Bane on this one. No, she's been in a lot of recent movies.
Well, she dead.
Hmm?
She dead.
Anyway,
Well,
she's
yeah.
I say you, she dead.
dead, quote unquote dead.
Oh no,
So
she dead.
meanwhile, back at the house,
Yeah.
Nothing's going on really at this point at all.
and that's the end of the movie.
Over. Roll
Bit
credits.
of a disappointment. The
Yeah.
ending needed a bit more. So
No kidding. I don't know why it's regarded as such a modern classic.
it only went for about 20 minutes too. So
Yeah, it's really weird.
Anyways, we're getting very worried about Teenage Girl. Teenage Girl's been gone for a very long time. And parents are getting hysterical. And it's time to go look for her. So we get American Phoenix in his Hummer.
they shouldn't have let her go out in the first place. But yeah,
Hey, come on. You know, I wanted to get rid of her anyway.
okay, fair enough.
You just wouldn't let me when the time was right.
Just let her be a bad mother.
You can't kill the baby!
Yes. Billy? Billy, go away, Billy. Nobody invited you to this review. Come on.
Billy Krampus.
Oh, Billy. Ah, Billy.
Oh man. Okay, so American Phoenix and Libtard Cuck Dad.
Yeah, the two fathers, in other words.
They hop his Hummer with all his guns.
Father in very, very, very hard air quotes.
They go looking for Teenage Girl and they get to boyfriends. Actually, they come upon the snowplow, which has its glass burst in on from the outside going in. So they don't know what happened to the body.
No.
Yeah, but obviously it wasn't a crash.
Yeah. So then something comes out of the snow and grabs American Phoenix by the leg, proceeding to bite him. And hey, Libtard Cuck Dad gets out his little fucking pistol and he shoots the fuck out of that thing. earning the respect of American Phoenix.
Well, it's not actually his pistol. It's the
It's
the
not. I
gun-
mean, it's of course
the
it
gun
is.
nut father's pistol, who has a whole truck full of guns. We missed that bit.
Yeah. Well, no, I
Okay.
said they took his Hummer full of guns to go look for him.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, but yeah, he opens it up and it's just full of guns
Yeah.
everywhere. And also, German grandma is stoking the fire mysteriously back home.
She really is, very vigorously. Yes.
Staring at it.
I wonder if that's important for later
Maybe.
on. So the two dads go back to the house, and
Well, no, they get to boyfriend's house first.
oh yes.
They go into boyfriend's house and look around and notice that there's some large cracks leading down from the fireplace. And, you know, of course, logical adult brain, he immediately goes, oh, the gas line burst. Which, you know, would make a lot of sense because of the way it's cracked just above the fireplace, although it's a wood-burning fireplace. It's not a fucking gas fireplace.
Well, yeah, and also everybody in this
device.
universe, everybody in this universe goes by just sense of sight alone, so he wouldn't have smelled anything.
Yeah, exactly. So they go. They now go outside and discover that his fucking Hummer has been exploded. On fire, boom. All guns gone. All ammo gone. All they've got is what they've got in their hands.
A fire boom.
Fire boom. Explode. It exploded in a big boom.
Fire
Hey,
boom.
come on. My commentary is perfect. You know. Anyways, they make their way back to they make their way back to me.
Doing subtitles as a living.
Fire boom.
Every time. Oh no!
It was a super bang.
You know what? You would make
Says.
the Transformers movies bearable. I would watch them with subtitles all the time.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna subtitle them for you. I'm gonna watch them, cut out all the sound, and just narrate.
So every time,
We should do that.
every time Optimus Prime speaks, can you just say heroic dialogue, heroic
Yes.
dialogue, heroic dialogue,
And
heroic dialogue?
every time Megan Fox speaks, I go airheaded bullshit.
Slut, cunt, cunt. Billy just wanted to say.
Is this the New Year's show? Because I think we're both drunk. Anyways, they make it back to the house. American Phoenix has a giant bite in his fucking leg, which they proceed to tell the children was a bear trap because they don't want to scare them yet. Actually, American Phoenix doesn't give a fuck. He wants to tell the kids that everything's going to kill them. And they entrust the children with Auntie Lush and send her off to the kitchen where she proceeds to feed them peppermint schnapps. Because why wouldn't you do that in a crisis?
We all need an auntie like that.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do that in a crisis? Here, get drunk.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, Austrian granny.
No, this wasn't Austrian granny. This was Auntie Lush.
That's right. Yeah.
Drunk auntie.
Sorry, I
Drunk
was having flashbacks. Oh my.
to your very German grandmother. Did she get you drunk?
Oh yeah, actually. I
Oh
wasn't kidding.
no.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think what happens next. They all go to sleep. Is that it? And
Yeah, they all fall asleep watching Christmas movies. It's all very nice. The fire burns down because Howard, American Phoenix, falls asleep on watch duty.
Yes.
Because why wouldn't you put the guy with blood loss on the first watch?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Makes sense.
he's clearly the guy that needs the most sleep, so
Mm-hmm.
you should put him on first.
Absolutely. So he passes out. They all fall asleep. The fire dies down. And we get our first glimpse of the best characters in this movie. The tiny little sentient gingerbread men.
Oh, this is where the gremlins...
Yes. Very much so.
Oh, man. It's so good. It's so good. for anybody watching that hasn't seen, oh man, I don't know what to tell you. If you've seen Gremlins, if you don't want spoilers, I don't know why you're watching this show. Stop what you're doing and go watch it, because
Did we mention there will be spoilers? I
well,
don't know if you
you
mentioned
know
that.
we did, but somebody's going to get pissed off about it. So
So, anyways,
it's awesome.
they all fall asleep. The fire dies down, and these little gingerbread men go fishing for Fat Kid. And they
Yeah,
throw down this
with a big chain.
big metal chain with a hook on the end, with one of their brethren strapped to the end. In which, seriously, fat retard picks it up and bites it, because that's something you do with strange food you find laying on the ground attached to a chain.
Now, come on. A big chain with a big metal hook on the end. When has that ever gone wrong?
Never.
Yeah, exactly. What are you complaining about?
And
Yeah.
the
Is
gingerbread.
that where you normally find food? What are the supermarkets like in Canada?
I mean,
Oh
honestly,
god,
it's
meat's
not-
not hanging from hooks here.
what am I looking at in our goddamn fridge right now? Really? I'm looking at a bunch of fucking hooks and a ketchup bottle. Come on.
Haven't you seen Hellraiser? I mean, come on. What could go wrong?
Anyways, he takes a big old bite out of this gingerbread man's head. And the reaction of the gingerbread man's hilarious because it takes a second.
It does, yes.
And the eyes move to the bite in its head and then it screams.
We should mention this is 90% practical too. So
Yeah. I think the gingerbread men are the only thing that are a lot CG.
yeah, they are.
Because
They are a lot CG, but they're still awesome.
They are awesome.
It's very good CG. So
anyway, so
Yeah.
Gingerbread Man ties up Howard Jr. and they proceed to drag him up through the chimney. At this point, everybody is awake. Sarah launches herself at his legs. They all dogpile and try to pull him back in. But then Sarah catches a glimpse of the sentient gingerbread man, freaks the fuck out, lets him go. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you at that point?
Well, yeah, you don't expect to see gingerbread men snarling back at you. Not unless you've taken the wrong type of acid. But
They're
Well,
so
no.
they're so
I mean-
cute.
I mean, if you're used to snorting coke, you might see that, but
The acid. It's got to be acid or
Oh, yeah, I mean-
mushrooms.
yeah. Mush.
And so
I don't know, whatever.
Howard Jr. fucking gone now.
Yeah.
Second victim. He's gone.
is it really a loss, though? I have to wonder.
No, he looks weird. Don't feed your kids that much. They lose their face. The
It's just
fat eats it.
It's just a generic fat kid.
Yes,
Oh.
he doesn't say anything through the whole movie. So yeah,
Right.
bye, Howard Jr. We don't miss you. So Omi relights the fire, and this is the point where we get the beautiful. What is it? It's puppetry, isn't it? For her story from Germany when she was a child.
Yes, mostly. Mostly hand drawn, but yeah.
It transitions from the live action to a small, cartoony portion where she tells the story of Krampus, how he came when she was a child because people forgot the spirit of Christmas, and he came to
And it was
punish.
it's her fault though, because she kind of said,
Yeah, she was the last. Yeah, she was the last one keeping Christmas spirit alive, and when she broke, it was the straw.
Yeah.
Krampus came, and she described hearing the screams of her family. This is one of those moments where it gets very somber very quickly.
It does, yeah. It hits hard all of
Yeah.
a sudden. It's like
It's-
the movie doesn't play fair.
Yeah, all that it very much like Gremlins, where she's talking about her father when he falls down the chimney and dies. It's like that because the movie itself is very funny, but then all of a sudden there's this moment of somber, depressing.
Where
Yes.
all the levity, where it's the somberness that is the levity. It's
Mhm.
the difference, yeah, that breaks it. Yeah. And yeah.
So she tells them this story, and of course American Phoenix thinks she's fucking crazy. But of course, Sarah must know that there's some truth to it because she saw these sentient gingerbread men. And she just warns them all to keep the fire hot. Because I guess he can't enter whilst the fire is hot.
No, he can't. No matter what, I guess.
Yeah.
And is the next scene where the two daughters go upstairs looking for the toilet?
Yes.
Which is a smart move, you know. First of all, wouldn't there be a toilet downstairs?
Oh, but drunken Auntie clogged it.
Oh,
They're talking about it. Wouldn't have to go all the way up here if she didn't clog the toilet downstairs. But actually, we're sort of, I think we've skipped over a bit where during that whole thing, the Christmas tree lights on fire. So Sarah's sister's upstairs in the attic rewrapping all these gifts. She brought them all upstairs to rewrap them all for the kids, so they had something to open on Christmas Day. That's why they're all up in the attic. And then Stevie and Beth go to use the toilet, and they hear rustling upstairs, and they think it's their cousin that has gone missing. And of course, they go up there looking for her, and we get the awesome fucking snake clown.
Yes.
The snake clown is incredible. I kind of want one.
What would you do with it?
I would feed it children.
Well, didn't even skip
and there's a great idea for a horror story.
It's true. Well, I mean, they already did it, though.
Yeah, but you could make a whole movie out of it and just claim it.
Yeah.
That's true. I'll just call it Snake Clown.
Oh, the clown, yes.
He's got a three-pronged mouth that's all teeth, and it's very cool.
But he's a jack-in-the-box, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes. He's a giant jack-in-the-box.
Which could have been the jack-in-the-box that consumed the other girl earlier.
Yeah.
Well, he's a lot bigger, but he could have grown
Yeah,
after.
The box on the end of him is quite small, too.
So where would you keep this clown?
In the yard!
You would just keep him in the yard and...
Dog can pee in the front.
Clown room, of course.
Yeah.
I just want to feed it. I just want to feed it the neighborhood children.
It'd be like, oh, Bane, good to meet you, finally, in person. Come look at this fucking clown.
Do you have any children to feed it?
And you'd be like, no. Oh, god damn it.
He won't eat adults. We can't feed him. We
You would
can't
be-
feed the clown Bane. It'll give him indigestion.
Well, no kidding. You'd be like the most deadpan victim ever. It would be awful. You're like, no,
Oh,
I'm
shit.
sorry. I don't have any children. I just...
You could just drive around the neighborhood in the van with
Yeah.
the clown in the back.
It's
and,
right. You want to see my clown?
Oh, no, even better, an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he could be the top of it.
Well, then he would have to like hunch down and be like,
Oh yeah, he so can. He's snaky. He can do that.
It'd be better inside, and when they come up to the window to order
Oh
something-
no, because then we have to lure them inside. That's a waste.
No, he just comes out through the window and grabs them.
I can just streamline it. Put him on the roof.
I mean, okay. So I'm looking at the clip of that scene as we speak, and as hilarious as it is, god damn it, the teddy bear and the
angel. The
And-
angel is freaky.
practical effects in this movie are spot on.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah.
The angel's
so
creepy
we
as shit.
We should describe that in case someone's listening to this and
I
they
think
haven't
so,
seen the
yeah.
movie. Even
Yeah.
though you should watch the movie before listening to this.
Yeah, definitely.
Bound to be
Yeah.
what it's true. So
Yeah.
so there's the giant jack in the box, the snake clown as you described it.
Yeah.
There's the feral teddy bear.
And the gingerbread men.
No, the gingerbread men are still in the kitchen.
Oh.
They're downstairs having a knife fight with
No, nail gun.
That's right. Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's a nail gun. American.
One of them had a knife at one point.
Yes, after he lights them all on fire.
Yeah, no, it's good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
But so
the
we've
clown.
we've got Libtard Cuck Dad, Sarah, and her sister upstairs in the attic, wrestling with like I would say psychopathic transformers.
Oh yeah, there's that robot
yeah,
thing.
The
isn't
robot thing, the rabid bear, the snake clown, and the fucking angel. The angel is creepy as shit. It's frantic. Its movements are terrifying. The tongue, it sticks its tongue in her ear. And it's long.
And we should say it's a big angel, so it's not like a little angel on top of a tree. It's
the size of a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's
So
creepy.
yeah, there's a lot of fighting upstairs.
And then downstairs, we've got American Phoenix having it out with a little army of the gingerbread men who find a nail gun, which they used to fortify the house earlier, and they start fucking shooting him with it.
And that's a movie trope, which is very unrealistic. If you fire a nail gun like that, the nails just turn, head over tail, right? They don't fly like bullets.
But it's still, it's so funny.
I know, but it's something you see in movie after movie after movie.
Yeah,
it is.
It never gets old.
I'm totally flying off the deep end here, but can I just mention something?
Go.
There's one actress in this movie. Her name is Toni Collette, and she is one.
Aussie actress.
Yeah, she is one of the main actresses. See, I'm bad at this. I actually forget the name of the wife in
Sarah?
In Krampus. Yes, Sarah.
Sarah.
She is absolutely a fantastic actress.
Oh yeah, she was recently in
Hereditary.
Hereditary, yeah, which is very good.
Annie Graham. Another psychological horror film coming up in 2019, which I have seen trailers for, which I actually can't talk about yet. I can say that I've seen the trailers, but she she plays a character named Gretchen in a movie called Velvet Buzzsaw.
Ooh.
Oh.
And in other really amazing horror films, like the remake of Fright Night, which you wouldn't expect to be amazing, but is actually really, really awesome. No real reason to stop that other than just to say she's an amazing actress, and she'll probably go very, very far in the...
she's been around for a long time.
She has. She really has, and she is amazing. Like, just her performance in Hereditary alone, and even just Krampus here as Sarah is just, like, she's incredible. She's one of the greatest actresses alive in the industry today, and yeah, hopefully she'll go even further. Anyway, sorry.
And she had a fight with a feral bear.
Yeah,
no, she was fighting. She was fighting with the angel.
Oh, I'm sorry. She was fighting the angel. That's
yeah.
Her sister was fighting the feral bear.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She gets mama bear syndrome in there because she sees one of her daughters unconscious.
Yes.
But, it's weird. She doesn't get mama bear syndrome when she sees that fucking snake clown eating the other one.
No kidding.
It's the unconscious one.
It's only after the fact.
Yeah, it's the unconscious one that she's like, oh shit! Better do something about this.
Yeah.
He goes rogue with an axe.
Yeah.
And smashes up everything pretty good. But Snake Clown escapes into the ductwork of the house with her other kid inside of it. And
I hate it when that happens.
yeah, don't you hate it when your Snake Clown goes rogue and eats a kid you didn't want it to?
And then escapes.
And then escapes into the vents, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really shitty.
It usually gets the kid I'm going for, but once in a while it's like, oh fuck! God damn it! Not that one! And then
I said the other one!
And then I have to go into hiding for 3 years. It's fucking awful. I mean, I shouldn't even be here right now. Like, this is the risk. So,
Well, that's why you're anonymous. It's fine.
yeah, that's right.
So
He's
he
doing
runs.
the podcast from inside the house.
It's in the house. Oh no. Okay, so we get back down into the main house. So we've got one of the daughters still alive, and all of the adults are still alive, and Max,
Somehow.
and the baby's still alive. And they have a dog who they send into the docks to fight Snake Clown. Because, you know,
Because they hear it thumping around up there.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And then there's a lot more thumping once the dog's up there.
Yeah,
Well,
the
well,
dog doesn't
yeah,
come back out.
Well, of course not. Okay, let's send the family dog up there. Is be like, do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? And the dog's like, oh yeah, I want a treat. Go kill the murderous snake creature. And the dog's
Hey,
like,
come on, it's a little bulldog. Might have a fighting chance.
okay,
It's
you know
not
what?
like we've got a possum up there, though, is it? Or a rat. It's
You know
But
what?
I still wouldn't do that. I might get rabies.
Here's the
my
thing,
poor dog.
Okay, here's the deal. I'd rather put a possum up there than a dog
Yeah,
to fight this.
dog never comes back down. Snake Clown never comes back down.
The possum might have. Come on.
And then we notice that the fire's completely out, and they decide it's time to abandon ship, and they're gonna make a break for the abandoned snowplow. And then shit hits the fan even more. We have the elves, Krampus's elves, break into the living room and surround them. And I think at this point, they make off with the baby. Yes, they make off with the baby. And
The elves? Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
At what point did elves become tiny? Because in actual mythology, they were quite tall. Which is where the elves from Lord of the Rings is based upon.
It's just Santa's elves.
No, but at some point, and I'm sure this happened somewhere in American pop culture, elves became very short, like
Well,
leprechauns.
You know what? I'm sure you're right, but why don't you just check yourself and ask Legolas and just...
I think it's just Santa. I think it's just Santa's elves, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, yeah, I don't know too much about Krampus with the... Again, I'm ill prepared for this, but...
Anyway, the remaining family members flee for their lives.
yeah.
But Omi stays behind because she wants to face Krampus and see if she can maybe stop him.
Reason with them.
They have sort of a standoff, and he takes her because he gives no fucks. There's no reasoning with him at all.
He's not
Yes.
a nice guy, is he?
Not a nice guy, no.
You wouldn't invite him over to Sunday brunch or something.
So they're all running for the snowplow, and Dad does a standoff with the snake thing that was in the snow from earlier that bit American Phoenix on the leg, and he gets taken. What happens to American Phoenix? How does he die?
Oh, Howard? Oh,
yeah.
man, I don't remember. Yeah. Shit.
Inconsequential death. American Phoenix dead.
Yeah, nobody
He
cares.
might still be alive. It could be a sequel.
He goes rogue to try to kamikaze them, doesn't he? With the last of his gun.
Oh, is that with the elves?
I think
The
so.
elves? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And he goes after the baby.
Mm.
Yeah, he does pretty good, too.
Yeah, not for long.
Yeah, he kicks ass. For what it's worth.
So then Libtard Cuck Dad dies, gets taken, and then Sarah's sister also gets taken by the snake thing. They're very close to the truck now.
So basically, everyone gets killed except for
Max.
Or Max.
Max, and it's
Stevie.
What? Stevie,
Well-
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is debatable, and Krampus is such a fucking dick. He just kind of laughs at Max, but
We haven't gotten to that yet.
oh, whatever. We're getting there.
Stevie gets taken too out the window of the truck.
Yep.
And it's just Max all by himself. And he
Yes, because Krampus leaves one person alive to tell the story, doesn't he?
no, I don't think that's the idea.
Isn't that what Grandma said?
He left Grandma alive, but not for that particular reason.
Okay, I thought he left one person for a reason.
No, I think he just does
Hmm.
to keep the spirit of Christmas alive. Maybe
Hmm.
Through
teach
fear.
him a fucking lesson. Yeah, teach him a fucking lesson.
Punishment,
Anyways,
you've lost everyone.
Yeah, exactly. It's a form of actually, yeah, that would make sense as a form of punishment. So Max now has the ornament, Krampus's ornament. And I think at this point, if he had have cowered, he probably would have survived through that. For that reason, he probably would have left him alive. But Max goes to try to save his family from Krampus. And he calls him a fucking asshole.
Should we describe how Krampus looks?
Yes, because now we see his face, which I would describe as Santa as if he had seen Ciara from The Ring.
Huh?
Is that not apt? Gaping mouth, gaping eyes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, perpetually gaping mouth. Yeah, just evil, I guess. Evil
Okay.
Santa, but
Santa with horns and hoofs.
it was so evil. Yeah.
And long, sort of grinchy fingers, but they're pointy. They're not
Yeah.
furry.
And it looks like he's wearing Billy Bob's Santa suit too, because it looks like it needs a wash.
Yeah, it's a little dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, it's a little gross. So they have their own standoff, Max and him. And Max delivers a tear-felt, "Take me instead," to which Krampus's response is to flick the tears off his face and laugh,
Laugh in his face.
whilst he drops his cousin down a bottomless pit of hellfire. And then
No fuck.
And then he turns to Max, picks him up by his head, and drops him down the same fucking hole into hellfire.
Yeah.
In which point, he wakes up startled out of bed.
It was all a dream.
Yeah,
Or was it?
Oh,
it was all a dream, and we get the beautiful, Christmas scene he always wanted. His family's all together, everybody's getting along and opening Christmas gifts, and he opens one of his, and inside is Krampus's ornament. And then everything goes silent.
And everyone starts to remember. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a dream.
And then we get a very long zoom out. Oh, everybody's alive, by the way.
Yeah,
yes.
We get a very long zoom out, and it appears as if they are contained within a snow globe.
Yes.
Now,
Which is the second movie I know which ends with the everything's in a snow globe.
I have
Okay.
an inquiry.
Hmm.
Are the snow globes just a window for Krampus to watch them, or are they actually trapped in perpetual Christmas?
No
I think
idea.
they're trapped.
Yeah, I lean more towards that they're trapped in perpetual Christmas.
That's the way I saw it anyway.
Yeah,
That's what he wants. That's what he likes.
but
Yeah.
he left Omi alive in the real world.
He did.
So is it possible that they're not? He's just watching them that way.
And kind of keeping an eye on them and being like,
Mhm.
don't fuck up again, little boy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
His self-sacrifice actually did save his family.
Maybe. I
So
mean,
you're saying
But-
Krampus is a peeper.
Yeah,
yeah, he's a pervert, basically. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's completely outside the realms of possibility.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, you're right. It could be.
Yeah, I think personally he's they are trapped and he's watching them.
Yeah, I think that's
Maybe it's a trial. Maybe if they go through 100 years of Christmas,
and they keep the
you know what I
spirit.
mean? Yeah, like something cruel like that, something awful.
Do you think the snow globe next to it is the Griswolds? Just
Yeah, certainly.
Well, see, that's
You know what? I think he's okay with it as long as he gets to go to that department store every year and look at that woman. I think he's okay.
again that makes
You know what I mean? I think he's okay. I think he's good. I think he'll just prolong that every year, right? And
It makes me wonder.
Yeah. And you know what? His son's name is Max too. God damn it.
there you go.
Holy shit. You know what? Theory proved.
Really though, it does make me wonder if they're actually out and he's just watching them. And that's what all the other snow globes are. Families he's punished who he's watching to make sure.
Okay. Can I mention something else?
Go for it.
This is also something I knew before I actually really picked this movie for sure when we did the Christmas movie thing. The Christmas themed horror film. The 2006 remake of Black Christmas is the actual it's actually the first successful remake or I would say remake of a Christmas horror film until Krampus. So it's kind of fitting.
Hold on. You said successful remake. Krampus isn't a remake, though, is it?
No, it's not. But
you mean so? Yeah. So
yeah,
you mean successful Christmas movie?
A successful Christmas movie. Yeah.
You confused me a bit with the remake because I'm thinking.
Yeah. Sorry. But no, Black Christmas was released in 2006. The remake of Black Christmas.
Yep.
And that's kind of successful remake of the 1974 original. And Krampus is really the kind of first successful Christmas horror movie since then. So it's kind of neat that we're talking about that now.
And how many Krampus movies have there been since?
A lot, but they've been really, really crappy and really, really low budget.
Are they made by the same company or just
no?
Just cashing in on the name, I see.
Yeah, no, there have been a lot. Same with Killer Santa movies. Same deal.
IMDb says there's 10.
Yeah.
A Visit from Krampus. Krampus and Angelica.
Krampus versus Freddy Krueger.
Krampus, The Devil Returns. Krampus, Beware the Krampus. Dare Krampus. Night of the Krampus. Krampus, the Christmas Devil.
Wait, Krampus, Beware the Krampus?
Yes.
Really?
Krampus meets Oprah.
Krampus, the Reckoning. A Christmas Horror Story. And Krampus, the one that we're talking about.
Krampus, the Krampusing.
Krampus, the Krampusing. Krampus.
Oh, that's Krampus 6.6. The Krampusing. Okay. Sorry.
The cramped Krampusing Krampus.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay, so last movie.
That's when Krampus goes back in time and meets his grandfather.
And gives birth to himself.
The Krampusing. Oh.
Billy!
Billy! It's in the house!
It's in the house, Billy. Oh.
And we find out that Krampus is actually the aborted fetus from Black Christmas.
Back in time, 800 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
nobody has anything to say about that. Yeah.
No.
Bad.
So, would everyone recommend Krampus? I would. I think it's a good movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
Krampus
Awesome. Watch Krampus.
Yes.
If you like horror comedies, then definitely.
It is really well done.
Yeah.
Drunk and ridiculous as we are talking about it right now, it's really well done.
Yeah. No, if you like Gremlins, if you've seen Gremlins, and you probably have, do yourself a favor and watch Krampus 2 or 3 times.
When you say if you've seen Gremlins, do you mean the movie or just around the house?
Well, just around the house, and then
Yeah.
if you've seen,
Wait, do you have a Gremlins problem again?
Yeah.
Well-
I saw a doctor about it, but he gave me a plan.
You seriously have to stop feeding them after midnight. You know.
well, you need to stop yelling at me about the Gremlins problem and actually believe me.
Wait,
and-
we have a Gremlins problem too?
Yeah, I've been trying to tell you for years now.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm not a son of a bitch. The Gremlins are a son of a ginch.
I'm gonna throw you and them outside.
Well, good. At least you'll get rid of the Gremlins.
Just feed them to the clown monster.
Oh, right, I forgot I have my clown snake now.
Yeah.
Aren't
What
you?
do I need to name him?
Wait a minute. Aren't you the clown monster?
I am?
Not
Is
you,
that-
Bane.
Oh, am
My
I?
God.
You
Is
are?
that-
Are you?
Is that a hidden twist? I thought
You're
I
the-
was Billy.
You're the one that's been living in my basement for the last 10 years. You tell
Am
me.
I? You mean I'm doing the podcast from
It's from
inside
in the house!
From inside the house.
Oh man, this has devolved. I didn't think we could devolve anymore, but we have. I'm proud of us, really.
Oh, I wonder if the listeners are confused by this.
New lows. New lows. All right.
Last
So,
movie. Let's get on
last
to the last movie.
Fuck me, Santa.
Oh no.
I think this is a hilarious movie. All the
I'm
way
really
through.
mad at how funny it was, actually.
It was
I
very
fucking
funny.
love this movie. Billy Bob, I think, is the perfect
Oh god, yeah.
play the role. I
Billy
don't know if
Bob-
it would have worked with anyone else.
You know
It's
what?
almost like it was written for him.
It's true. You know what? Billy Bob Thornton is an amazing actor.
I agree.
No,
I agree.
He truly is. He can steal any role he takes. You know what? He's like a reverse Nicolas Cage.
Isn't
No,
that a
honest,
wrestling move? I'm sure that's a wrestling move, isn't it?
that's right. No. Okay. Nicolas Cage is a good actor too. I truly believe he is. But
Well, sometimes.
yeah, sometimes, okay. Billy Bob Thornton is always a good actor, even
Yeah.
when it's a bad role.
Yep. I agree.
So Billy Bob Thornton, yeah, he's been in bad movies, but Billy Bob Thornton is never bad.
No, the movies are just bad.
Does that make sense?
He's great.
Yeah,
The movie
sure.
sucks.
Really? Like, he's just so fantastic in everything he does. Like,
Wouldn't you just marry him?
I
God!
mean, I would, but his dick doesn't work. He drinks too much fucking cheap whiskey.
Then how does he make hooker stuff shit right for a month?
I don't know. Dildos? He just straps one there.
You say
there-
my
there-
kicker
there are
don't
some
work?
great- There are some great lines in this movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
God.
really are.
It's
The
very
writing is
quotable.
So good, yeah.
It's very quotable. So, Bad Santa. Bad
Yeah.
Santa.
Um.
How do we describe the plot?
Well,
Okay. It's a couple of robbers who disguise that. Well, they get jobs as Santa and an elf. Billy Bob is the drunken Santa, and he's short. Black Fred is the elf, and they work in a department store during
Yeah.
Christmas, and then at the end of Christmas they break in and steal all the money. The midget hides somewhere in the shop after it closes, and he switches off the alarm system, opens the doors, and Billy Bob comes in and cracks the safe. The problem is Billy Bob is a woeful alcoholic and a pretty awful human being. Although he's an anti-hero, even though he's a pretty terrible human being, you kind of like him, and
you
and
do.
there are good qualities to him too, as we see throughout the movie.
Can I just say? Can I interject and say what's really problematic is that you said the word midget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's waiting for someone to- Well, I said he's short, black friend, but I guess that really doesn't describe him, does it? So,
It doesn't. I just, you know what? It must be my my upbringing, my white upbringing. I automatically heard that as black midget, and I
Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry.
You want if you want to hear something funny, there used to be a radio personality here in Melbourne. He's no longer on air. He was on air for like 40 or 50 years or something. His name was Ernie Sigley, and the guy was a moron, right?
Okay.
I mean, aren't most radio personalities?
He was one of those people who was too dumb to know how dumb he was.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And but somehow he made it in radio and television for 40 years or
Was
something.
he funny?
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't even funny?
Wow.
No. So anyway, I heard him talking to a guy doing a review of TV shows once on his radio show, and the guy mentioned the TV show Red Dwarf.
Okay. Yes.
And Ernie reacted by saying, I don't think that's right. I don't think they should make fun of small people like that.
Oh no.
And he was serious. He wasn't joking. He wasn't being sarcastic.
Yeah.
And in his defense, he didn't know what the TV show was.
He
doesn't know that,
my friend. It's science fiction. Yes.
He doesn't know that a red dwarf is a type of star, right? But he just assumed that it was making fun of little people.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he thought the show was about, like a small person painted red or something. I don't know. What would red dwarf mean if you didn't know that?
Maybe they have a skin condition, you fucking asshole.
Well, maybe. I mean, really.
Red dwarf. That's it. I don't know.
It's a fucking dwarf with eczema, you prick.
Okay,
Just before we go on, one more Ernie Sigley story, because someone should have written a book about this guy. But one time he was talking on the radio about stressful things that have happened to you in your life, right? And this woman rang up and said she used to work at a bank, and one day, I think she said this was in the 80s or something like that. And one day this guy came in and he pulled out a gun and he said, in her words, "Hand me over the effing money," right? And so obviously the stress is the fact that she's got a gun in her face and being robbed in the bank, right? And Ernie goes, oh, what a bastard using language like that.
In front of a lady.
I think you missed the point, dude. I think you missed the point. He was so concerned that,
he said fuck in front of you. Are you okay? Ma'am, you need assistance.
That's the thing we should be concerned about. Not the gun, but the fact that he swore. So
yeah.
Anyway. We're talking about a red dwarf.
I love the narrated opening of Bad Santa. It had me laughing immediately.
Well, I think the whole thing had me laughing. So yeah, I don't think there's a part in it which isn't funny.
I went into it wanting to hate it though. Like I wanted to not like it.
Me too. When I started laughing 20 seconds in, and you know what? I if it wasn't for Billy Bob, I don't know if I would have. The guy. I mean, the writing is good.
Woody Harrelson could have done it.
Woody Harrelson could have.
Yeah.
There are plenty of actors that could have, but I think the writing is so spot on.
For Billy Bob.
For Billy Bob, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the script was great, but I think Billy Bob really carried it.
It's true.
He did. He really did. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, how do you explain it to somebody that,
Well, we started to talk about this off air just before we came on, and
yeah.
I kind of developed I guess it's not a kind of a theory or an observation, I guess is a better word. and I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but I think you might understand what I'm talking about. All the characters in this movie are a little bit off. They're all a little bit weird. They're all a little bit
Oh
strange.
yeah.
They certainly are. Yes,
And Billy
every
Bob-
single one. Yes, yeah.
Billy Bob is really the only normal character, and it's weird that I'm saying that because he's a drunken alcoholic who, it wakes up drunk and then continues drinking, and he's a complete fucking loser.
And is a
yeah.
dick to children.
Yeah, but he's really the only realistic,
No.
normal.
No, he is. He holds.
No,
together.
Little Black Midget's very normal.
No, yeah, oh, you know what?
Other than
No.
being a midget, his character's really normal.
Okay, fine. Aside from his height, I. Oh man, I don't even know what to say.
But it's weird because Billy Bob, as much as a fuck up he is, he's
Yeah.
like a normal character
Yeah, he is.
that holds all the other character or all the other story together.
Yeah.
Which is weird considering he's such a fucking fuck up.
Wait, he's
But no. No. The little black midget's normal. He lives a normal life outside of the job. He's always given Billy Bob some grief over being such a fucking wasted asshole.
Okay. So
He's the only normal one. If any of them are normal. Actually, his girlfriend is normal. Other than being a shrill Asian lady, she's normal.
Oh, I don't know if I'd say she's normal.
She walks around in there and she's
What I said is they're all a little bit off, right?
Yeah.
okay.
Well, then he's very off.
I'm not saying that they're all straight, totally weird, but they're all just a little bit off. Like Billy Bob's girlfriend with the "fuck me Santa" thing, right?
Okay.
She's got Santa fetish, right? That's a little bit off. It's not.
She's
like
got daddy issues.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not like she's from fucking a David Lynch movie or anything. I'm not suggesting that, but she's a little bit off.
Babe,
Yeah.
I agree. No, I seriously though. Okay, so this movie is sort of from the Coen brothers.
Hmm.
Okay, so you've seen Fargo, yeah?
Yeah. So this is based on a true story then?
Oh, well,
Like-
yeah. Okay, so let's just assume that. Okay, so you've seen Fargo.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, brother, where art thou?
That's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
It's an amazing movie, right? No Country for Old Men.
It's the Odyssey, isn't it?
Oh yeah. No Country for Old Men. The remake of True Grit, which is really good. What the Coen brothers somehow, Bane, produced this movie. The Big Lebowski, the guys that produced Big like honestly, this movie is so awesome. And is actually awesome. I actually ignored this movie for most of my life.
I think, like I said, I keep saying this, but I think it's a great comedy.
It is. It's
it had
so
smirking or laughing out loud all the way through it.
Yeah.
Whether it's Billy Bob or it's a line that someone says, or it's out of a weird character at some point. But all the way through, I was either smirking or laughing, and I don't think there was any.
How can you not?
Bit of it that didn't work.
Yeah.
So I guess we should continue with the plot. So
I guess, yeah.
They rob malls at Christmas time.
Yeah.
By getting jobs as Santa and an elf to take pictures with children.
And Billy Bob is such a bad alcoholic that he barely keeps it together.
Oh man, he is such an alcoholic. It's
and he's the safe cracker.
He is, but it's so bad. It's so bad.
He's perpetually drunk all the time, at least a little bit drunk.
Yeah, like you see him like the morning of, and he's like sucking on a Mickey. Like holy shit, man.
And he picks up like an old beer bottle, and it's got a cigarette in it, and
he doesn't give a shit. He just yeah. Woo, that old movie alcoholic. Ooh.
Yeah, I think the scene where they're all waiting for him to turn up to work as Santa,
Yeah.
And it's like and they've been waiting for half an hour, and he's late, and all of a sudden, you see him at the top of the escalator, and he's passed out.
He's done.
And
so-
like he's
yeah.
passed out the escalator, and as it reaches the top, he just kind of, peels off onto the floor, and
Yeah.
and then he picked a fight with the fucking
It's
the paper mache fucking reindeer.
oh man.
It's a donkey, isn't it?
Oh, a donkey. Okay, yeah.
It is
Because they're in Arizona.
yeah,
So
but
of course it's a donkey.
that motherfucking donkey, man. Like,
He looked at me. He looked at me sideways, man.
yeah.
Get out of it because he's so drunk. But yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so good.
He
And again,
pisses on himself.
he does.
Oh,
Again, and he's like, "Oh man, you fucking piss on yourself."
And he's like,
And-
"Oh shit."
And Billy Bob being Billy Bob is like, "Oh shit." Like, how do you sell that as an actor and actually make it hilarious? You just be him, apparently.
Yeah, so
Maybe
we
we
see
just
them rob an apartment store at Christmas time at the start of the movie, and then it picks up about a year later. So they've been living off the money that they stole, and it's time to make their money for the next year. So they go to a new town.
Oh,
and
I like
get a job.
Yes, that's right. Get a job as his dream as being a bartender on the beach
Yeah, he wants to open a bar in Malibu.
in Florida, and we see him actually start to realize his dream. And you're
No,
like,
he's just robbing the fucking bar.
well, yeah, but you're like, oh wow, that's really awesome. I mean, the guy's like, he's realizing his dream. He's mixing a drink for somebody, but no. This guy's like, get the fuck out of my bar.
He finishes his drink first, though.
Of course he does. Oh man, does he ever?
And then he gets
Oh, man.
hurled over the bar, picks himself up, looks at the guy, goes, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, nobody else but Billy Bob Thornton could have done that. By
No.
the way, like,
It's quite a wonderful scene.
it's just awesome. Anyway, yeah, alcoholic loses job in Florida. It's a funny movie.
Yeah, so they go to the new department store, and the John Ritter, who's the boss,
Oh yeah, John
is
Ritter.
introduced to Billy Bob, and Billy Bob immediately gets snarly and tries to pick a fight with him.
with John Ritter. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
You see my pecker don't work?
And we see lots of drunken shenanigans as Billy Bob attempts to be Santa throughout the day, and then later that night, surprisingly, this was a big surprise. He goes to a bar to get drunk.
Really?
He gets
I did not see that coming. To be
Yes.
honest.
Really?
he
Wow.
gets picked up by a foxy bartender with a weird fetish.
Yeah, but just before that, he's out in the parking lot and he's accosted by someone, which I thought was a really weird scene.
I thought that was after.
Was that after the fuck me
Yeah,
or
I
just
think it was
before?
after the fuck bee. It was just after she leaves.
Are you
Because you're
sure?
a faggot, you queer. Yeah,
I
it was
thought it was
right
before.
after they fucked in the car. Oh, right after. No, it was after. For sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right. He picks up the barmaid. That doesn't matter. He picks up the barmaid and she has a fetish because he's dressed in a Santa costume. And as they're fucking in the car, she's screaming, "Fuck me, Santa! Fuck me, Santa! Fuck
Oh,
me, Santa!"
Fuck me, Santa times like infinity.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's a little bit of a strange fetish. Like I said, all the characters are a little bit off. But then he's accosted by the gay guy. Well, closeted gay guy.
Yeah.
Which is a weird scene because that character's not in it at any other point in the movie. It's just kind of there.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, he does kind of. He was watching him though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He
he's watching him in the bar, and Billy Bob looked at him like, "What the fuck are you looking at? Have you got a problem?" And then
They just
later on,
like-
the guy approaches him and accuses Billy Bob of being gay, right? And then pushes him up on the car and almost starts humping him, still accusing him of being queer. And Billy Bob has to fight him off. It's like, what the fuck's that in there for? I mean, it's not a bad scene, but it's just weird.
No,
Oh,
you
no,
know what?
we have
You know what?
fat.
You're right. It's really funny. It's a hilarious scene, but you're right. Yeah, I never see him again. That's what.
It's
Yeah.
just it's there for some reason.
He's there so that fat kid can swoop in and save him.
There you go.
It's true.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. The fat kid does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
another weird looking fat kid. Don't feed your kids till they look like that. Just
and the fat kid's called Thurman Merman.
Herman Merman.
Herman Merman.
Thurman Merman.
Herman Merman.
Don't name your kid Herman if his last name is Merman.
No, Thurman, not Herman. Thurman.
Oh, Furman. Furman?
Thurman Merman.
Is that FH or F?
TH, I think. Thurman Merman.
Okay. I'm just making sure I don't offend anybody here. Okay.
Anyway, we skipped that bit. The fat kid, Thurman Merman, turns up and he's got snot coming out of his nose. He's
Oh no.
He's like the grossest kid you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's disgusting, yeah.
Think about the grossest kid you've ever seen. That's
And
Herman.
just times that by reality.
do you think Mummy and Daddy might have been cousins?
Oh God.
No, because he's smarter than he lets on, and we see that later.
Yeah.
He kind of fucks with him a
He
little.
is fucking with him a little bit.
Yeah.
He's dorky and kind of a pussy, but he's not stupid.
He's a smart
He just acts that way.
He's a smart fat kid.
Yeah.
So anyway, he had seen Billy Bob as Santa during the day, and then he comes and saves him from the
The queer rapist.
Yes, and Billy Bob goes back to the kid's place.
Goes inside, and the only one there is senile grandmother.
You think maybe I can rob this place? It's a pretty big fucking flash house.
Yeah.
And
oh man.
the beautiful scene where Billy Bob and the kid walk in, and the senile grandmother's there.
He's wearing a balaclava at this
Well,
point. right?
you spoil it because the camera's on the grandma, and she gets up to go make him some sandwiches. And as the camera pans around to Billy Bob, he's just standing there in a balaclava, which you're not expecting to see him in a balaclava. And as the camera pans around, it slowly reveals it, and it's like she just walks by as if it's nothing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was beautiful.
Oh yeah, it was good.
It's another one of those beautiful little scenes where
Yeah.
So yeah, he decides to move in there. Why not? Right? Because
Yeah.
the kid's there alone with senile grandma. No other adults.
Yeah,
and,
she's fucking crazy. So
yeah, and he steals some money and he borrows the car and he's living the good life. Oh, and that's right. He can't go back to his hotel either because he thinks someone's waiting there for him.
Well, yeah.
So why not move in with the kid?
yeah.
I mean, the senile grandma's not going to know any different. Dad's in fucking prison.
Yep.
That's
Why the hell not? Actually, he doesn't know Dad's in prison. He just knows he's gone until, like, the new year, so...
He's gone exploring, I think is the official.
Yeah,
story.
he's gone exploring the mountains.
Yeah.
so he's kind of out of it in regards to his dad. Yeah.
I think he knows more than he lets on, too.
Maybe. Yeah.
Fuck me, Santa!
Oh God.
And of course, Billy Bob turns up at work the next day, drunk and hungover, and he fucks a fat chick in the
In the big and tall of the mall.
big and tall section of the mall.
Of course he does. Yeah. Yeah.
You're not gonna shit right for a month!
And
Oh,
John,
man. We
John
should.
Ritter's
Probably,
Bob.
I was just gonna say we need to talk about John Ritter's character at this point.
yes, yeah, because he wants to get rid of Billy Bob, but he's afraid to because there might be issues. And what's it he says? He says something about him having sex with a large woman, and I don't want to fire him because it might be seen as offensive to large women or something like that.
There's something about I might have done the same.
Yeah.
I might have done the same.
It's just something about a man that works with children saying the profanities. What's
even,
profanity?
even though he might have done the same thing. It's just, oh man, oh John Ritter, oh.
He must have died a short time after this.
He did actually, yeah.
Yeah, because it said at the end in memory of. So
Yeah, that's really sad.
John Ritter is one of the best comedy actors and one of the best bit actors ever. He unfortunately died of a. I'm laughing. I feel terrible, but John
it wasn't in the big and tall section, was it?
No, no. He died of a John. Fuck's sake, a heart attack during the filming of this movie, I believe. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, that was funny.
Yeah, very funny. Super funny.
Yeah. Anyway, John Ritter's complaining to the chief of security. What's the actor's name? He's dead too, isn't he?
I hope not.
Johnny Mac? Johnny Mac? Something Mac.
Oh, Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac.
God, no.
He's not
Did
dead.
he die?
Yeah, Bernie Mac. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, I thought so.
He died in 2008. Holy shit.
Yeah, Bernie Mac. Again, one of the best comic actors who ever lived.
Yeah, so Bernie Mac's the head of security, and John Ritter wants him to find a reason to get rid of the bad Santa, Billy Bob.
He seriously makes love to those oranges with his lips, though.
Ever.
Which is another really weird quirk somebody has.
It is. It's called deadpan, and these guys they knew it.
He's just all slurpy and sucky on it. It's kind of gross, actually.
Oh, it's disgusting, but deadpan, it's just awesome. Ugh, gross. Anyway.
So security guy tries to find some dirt on them, and of course does. And instead of getting rid of them, he decides to blackmail them.
Big mistake.
After all, why not take 50% of what they're going to make, right? That doesn't go down well with the dwarf
Midget.
character.
No.
No. He's not happy. And neither is his shrill Asian girlfriend.
Hi, you cocksucker me.
I needed to bet a running start.
Oh, so racist.
Oh, I couldn't get enough running start.
But I like the fact that she goes through the shop making a list of all the things for them to rip off when they're.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I've never
Ever dated a midget that steals things?
I've never been an Asian hooker before.
You sure?
I mean, I suppose. Well,
hey!
I mean,
I told
okay,
you
give
that
me a
in
minute.
confidence.
Give me a minute. Wait.
Not even for Halloween.
I told you that in confidence.
Okay, so I want 4 Japanese centers. I better stop right now.
We're never getting on Patreon. That's for sure.
No, never gonna happen.
Oh, come on. He didn't say gook or anything. It's fine.
Anyway.
That's how you get banned from Patreon. It's the racial slurs.
Yeah, I know, which you've just said.
Oh, fuck! Sargon, no!
Don't you mean oh fuck?
Someone's being a bad Santa. So
Uh,
You someone is being a very sad panda.
I'm drinking festive alcohols.
They're made in China.
Fireball's not made in China. Neither's
Oh.
eggnog.
and anyway, back to the
Yeah.
story.
Yes.
So yeah, security guards blackmailing them. They're not too happy about it, and that eventually leads to them. Well, the Black Dwarf and his Asian wife killing Bernie Mac.
Did you just say dwarfinies?
Hey,
Dwarfy.
Dwarfenese. No, I didn't say Dwarfenese, but that's a great term. I said dwarf and his, not dwarf and Dwarfenese.
Okay, well, we're demonetized either way. Oh no. Anyway.
Have you two been drinking?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, Billy Bob's being stupid and drunk. Right? Right.
Yep.
Okay. Black
And the kid gives him a Christmas present at one point.
the
It's
Wait, you can't skip over him coming down screaming with the big gash in his hand.
yes.
And Ben B's like, you need a band-aid?
Yes,
He pours some vodka on it.
The dwarf had the big
that's
gash.
very true. That poor child was very,
Hold on,
very
hold on.
traumatized.
Didn't the dwarf have the big gash in his hand?
Well, I don't know. Was he dwarfinies?
That's a little gash and it's sideways.
Oh god, we're gonna have to end this soon, I think.
No, we don't! We'll do it live!
Anyway,
From the house!
Thurman Milman runs downstairs with a big cut in his hand. He's bleeding, and then later on we find out where the cut came from. He was actually making a wooden
pickle.
pickle. A wooden pickle.
He whittled him a wooden pickle for Christmas. Because why wouldn't you whittle your friends a wooden pickle?
Well, why wouldn't you? It's so sweet.
It's true.
I-
Was it a sweet pickle?
Sweet wooden pickle. Wasn't he a blues artist?
Well, I mean, what else would you?
I'm pretty
gather-
sure. Sweet wooden pickle.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
I'm
You
pretty sure
wouldn't
Sweet Wooden Pickle was a blues artist. But anyway,
You wouldn't get "I love you" from that.
Oh, God. I cut myself whittling you a wooden pickle.
but that's one of the things I love about this movie. It's so many little weird things, like the wooden pickle and
And the
like
gay
I said-
rapist.
No, that's true.
And
Actually,
like I
yeah.
said earlier, Billy Bob's the straight
Oh.
character. He's the one looking at this, thinking this is weird, right?
He's
Just
the
like the
one-
audience.
He's the one the audience looks at and goes, "Wow, this is really fucked up."
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm telling you, midget is
No,
is
no,
normal.
no. I'm telling you, no. Honestly, you look at it from about halfway throughout the movie, like, oh man,
What do you mean he doesn't think midget's weird? Midget's the normal one with
No.
the girlfriend and
of course he thinks midget's weird. It's just Billy Bob is the ground throughout the whole movie.
oh well, have we gotten to him trying to kill himself yet?
Yeah, no, he starts with talking about fucking how he's had a kidney out and all this, and how he's got fucking nothing, and then
Time to kill myself.
yeah, no, it's just oh man, it's so bizarre, and then it just picks up from there.
Yeah, but I guess the bit where he tries to kill himself is an important part because he gives a letter to the kid to mail after he's dead,
Yeah.
and then tries to kill himself. But when the kid tells him that, oh, actually, the kid's got a black eye, and he says, "Where did you get that from?" And he said, "Some kids beat me up." And we see that Billy Bob actually does care because he decides not to kill himself and go and beat the shit out of the kids, like a responsible adult would do, right?
I mean, what wouldn't you for that poor little fat kid?
I can understand why he did it.
This is Billy Bob's way of showing love.
I'm not saying I would, but Billy Bob. I mean, come on. I can see why.
And like I said, Billy Bob's the anti-hero, even though he's a drunken asshole who's a thief, and
At
rips
least he's
people
not
off for a living. You can relate to him in some way, and
for sure.
as the movie goes on, we do see his humanity.
At least he's stealing from big corporations for the most part. They're just stealing from malls.
Well,
Well, you know,
they're not stealing from charities. It's okay. It's not that bad. Could be worse.
Malls could be like, personal shit too, but whatever. Anyway,
so yeah, I guess we should move on to the end bit, where they're finally going to rob the safe. It's the last night, and Billy Bob discovers that the safe is uncrackable, but he manages to crack it anyway because he's just that good.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, the dwarf and his Asian wife have decided to get rid of Billy Bob because he's just too much of a hassle. Which you can kind of understand because he's constantly drunk and constantly jeopardizing their entire caper.
Oh man, I mean, we see him basically piss away 50 grand in Florida.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, so.
Plus, constantly turning up to his job drunk and almost getting fired and
all the time.
Starting fights and being abusive to kids and pissing himself and vomiting.
It's not really good. For the business. No, it's bad. It's bad. So.
Fortunately for Billy Bob, the police have turned up because the kid mailed the letter.
Oh no!
Oh, did we talk about him killing Bernie Mac's character yet? Did we skip over that?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
We mentioned that. So Billy Bob sees the an elephant, a pink stuffed toy elephant, which is what the kid wanted. That's all he wanted for Christmas.
Or purple, or pink, or purple.
He changed it to purple.
Oh,
he did change it to purple. Yes, and he can't remember which one.
I knew he was pink at one.
He picks the wrong one, which is the funniest part. Yeah. He grabs the wrong fucking elephant.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's covered in blood at the end anyway.
Yeah.
So, so he grabs the elephant and he decides to run from the cops because he's determined now that he's actually starting to be a proper human being. Right?
Well, yeah, he actually kind of cares about this person.
Yeah, he cares about this kid, and he decides he has to get this gift to the kid, even though he's being chased by cops in a car chase, and he's being shot at, and he's shot 8 times in the back. He's still determined to get this gift to the kid because, like I said, he's a good anti-hero.
Well, he's not a bad man, I don't think.
Well,
he's definitely a bad man.
Yeah,
but he's an endearing bad man, like most.
Yeah.
Like most anti-heroes are endearing in a way.
Gosh darn, I like him.
I like him too, but you can't say he's not a bad man.
He's definitely.
I understand. He is. Yeah. He's a bad dude. I understand.
He's complex. Good characters are complex. They shouldn't be black and white. And he's definitely there's definitely a lot of gray in him.
Yeah, he's a little bit more gray than white. But anyway, he's a bad dude. But who cares? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so he's shot in the back 8 times by the cops, but he survives, and he gets out of going to jail because the cops don't want to be sued for shooting him in the back. He's fuck me Santa girlfriend moves in to look after the kid until the father gets out of jail, and everyone's happy. The kid gets his elephant, even though it's covered in blood, and it's a kind of a happy ending, which is
Well,
nice.
it's like an extension of the shit pickle. So
But the
Yeah,
thing
it's
is,
kind of it's a nice ending. He gets a more competent guardian at least
in
out
turn,
of the fuck me Santa girl.
yeah, she didn't seem too
yeah, but
bad.
well,
apart from
she's
the
nice
ending.
though. You know what? At least she's nice. She seems like a very nice
Yeah,
lady.
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm
Really?
still now
Really?
I'm thinking about him with her thong in his teeth when he gives him the pickle.
No. Okay. Despite all that, she seems like a very nice lady, though.
Yeah, oh sure. She's just got a weird fetish. It's okay.
Yeah, you know, she's weird, but she likes the kid. It's all good.
And she probably takes good care of him.
Yeah.
Better than
Right.
senile grandma who doesn't know where she is most of
Just
the time.
fuck me, Santa. It's kind of weird.
Actually, that might be why he's fat, because all she does is feed him sandwiches.
Oh God. Oh.
all that,
Ooh,
bread, all that bread.
I can only
But,
imagine it's gonna be like 20 years from now. Oh God. Oh. Anyway,
I gotta say, we went through the story, and the story's good, right? It's a good part of the movie.
It's
But
very.
it's not the best part. I think the best part is the constant one-liners and the constant
Yes.
Oh.
visuals of Billy Bob being drunk and all the little weird things, which we really can't go through all of them in this podcast.
You
We don't
really
have the
have
time.
to watch it.
Yeah, we don't have the time, and we need a massive list to go through them all, and we wouldn't do them justice.
No, it's pretty fabulous. I'm surprised.
I think in terms of one-liners, I think one-liners would definitely take up half a podcast for sure.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
No, Billy Bob. I mean, he's already a fantastic actor, even before all this shit. Like, honestly, even if you only know him, like, let's say you only know him from, say, Armageddon. Like, I mean, he's still awesome.
He does a TV show. I think it's on Amazon or something like that. It's called Goliath, in which he plays a lawyer. There's been 2 seasons of that. It's a fucking great show.
Yeah.
And largely because of Billy Bob. I agree. I think he's an amazing actor.
Yeah, he just I think he can take what's given to him and kind of elevate it, but I think if he's given something that's really bad, I think
he's still good though.
I don't think I've ever seen him chew the scenery either. It's more of a subtle acting from him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. He can be pretty bad in my opinion, but
what movie has he been bad in?
Oh God.
I put you on the spot there, didn't I?
No, you did, but I mean, oh God, Bad Santa 2 as an example.
Wait, we haven't seen that.
Yeah, I know, but
maybe it's good. Maybe we're wrong. We were wrong about this one.
Yeah, maybe you're wrong.
We were wrong about this one.
You know what? Friday Night Lights. You know what? It's hard to.
I haven't seen it, so yeah, okay.
No. You know what? I can't argue with it. Like Friday Night Lights. It's a fucking football movie, but god damn, is it ever good? Like.
He's in Bad Santa 2.
He is.
There is an actual Bad Santa 2.
I know.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
It's got a 1-star rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh no.
wait. Is that audience score or okay? From
It's really
No. I'm being totally serious here. I can't think of something where he's been awful in. Like even like the Fargo, the new series of Fargo. Like he's in that. I've seen the first 2 seasons. Apparently,
yes, the sister from Krampus is in that too.
Yeah,
one of his seasons.
He
plays a cop.
A couple scenes from that, and it's amazing. Like I can't. I don't know. Like
anyway, just on a side topic. since it was brought up, Bad Santa 2. I just want to say about sequels or bad sequels. It amazes me when a studio has a massive hit with a movie, and then they'll make a sequel, and the sequel's shit.
Yeah, they're just
Or
trying to milk
average.
it.
Yeah, but it's stupid because you're killing a franchise.
Well,
Is it,
unless
though?
it's good? Unless it's good. 'Cause
No,
No, but I mean, if you make a sequel which is shit, then you're potentially killing
Okay.
a franchise.
no, true. No, but are you? Are you if it's shit though? Think about 1981 with Halloween.
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean-
they're so
No,
bad. They're
really.
endearing.
I'm not trying to be like pedantic or like argue with you. Just
Yeah, but they keep on cashing in on the name. But I mean, most of the Halloween movies are terrible.
But
they
they're
are.
hilarious.
No, I'm talking about Halloween 2 specifically.
Mm.
Well, yeah, but would you call that a bad sequel?
No.
No, I'm talking about bad sequels.
I don't think they go out of their way to make them bad, though.
No. That's what I'm trying to say, though. That Halloween 2 wasn't made to be Halloween, though. It wasn't made to be Halloween bad.
Well, no, that's what I mean.
Does that make sense?
I don't think any sequel, and I don't think any sequel's made to be bad. I think they're all trying to be bad.
Sometimes they're not made with the same care. And probably the best example is Dusk Till Dawn, and then they made 2 sequels, which they shot in South Africa for next to no money.
True.
Which is just awful. They're just cashing in on the name instead
You know
of
what? I agree. And I think Robert Rodriguez in '96, he made an amazing film starring Tarantino. Miss Anon has seen it too with me.
Which is that story? It's Spaced Out.
No,
You're really drunk, aren't you?
A little bit, yeah. I heard Queen.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes. Okay, what about it?
It's not directed by Tarantino. It's directed by
Robert Rodriguez.
Yes.
Who's a great director, by the way.
He really is.
And he can make a movie on a really tight budget too.
I love and hate the tone shift in that movie, by the way.
Yes, it's great. It's great.
Oh gosh, you know what, Bane? Here, she hates the tone shift. I don't understand it. She hates.
I don't hate it that much.
You do. You told me.
The movie is still good, but I really wish they were 2 different movies because the one had so much potential to be a good, serious movie.
You know what?
They camped it up, and
the campiness comes from the '70s, though. That's the.
I know. If they were 2 separate movies, they would be both really good movies on their own footing.
You follow these characters, and then they're put into this weird situation. That's the point.
Yeah,
I know. I don't know.
But here's the point, though. Miss Anon. No, it's the same with Kill Bill. You don't quite get that, right?
Well, I don't like Kill Bill.
Yeah, it's hard to explain without being like.
I have to rewatch those though.
It's hard. It's hard. You can't be not pretentious, right?
Yeah, Tarantino is obsessed with the '70s.
And that's good, and that's bad, but it's fine.
Fan of exploitation movies from the '70s, you should love Tarantino. However, if you're not familiar with what his influences are, then you might not get him.
Yes, that's right. You need to stop and maybe get it. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
Because, no, really, we got here because of Black Christmas. Anyway,
I just want to say about the bad sequels.
Yeah,
I watched Conan the Destroyer during the week, and it's I wouldn't say it's an awful movie, but it's not a great movie.
I don't think it's awful. I think it's okay.
Yeah, but the original Conan the Barbarian, is a fucking amazing movie.
Conan the Barbarian is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't
whether you've seen it for the first time or for the first time in the 80s with based in the 80s. Yeah. No, I've seen it. Yeah, for the first time. Yeah, it's good.
I was a little bit surprised though because I looked up the budgets for the movies, and because I thought Conan the Destroyer would have had a smaller budget. And what I found was Conan the Barbarian had a budget of 16 million, and it made 130 million, which is a nice profit.
My goodness, yeah, that's my gosh, yeah.
They then followed up with Conan the Destroyer with a budget of 18 million, so it's $2 million more. Although I don't know where the budget went because it doesn't look anywhere near as good as this
it looks horrible. It looks terrible.
It made $30 million.
Wow.
So that's what I mean about not taking care of your cash cow.
Yeah,
well, that's what I think. I don't think it's anybody going out of their way to do it. I think it maybe if they try to push it out too quickly after the success, trying to ride the wave of the success of the first one.
Maybe. I mean, have you ever seen? I'm not trying to be a smartass, but have you ever seen Smartass?
No.
Smartass the Barbarian.
Did you just make that up?
No, I haven't.
We're gonna put him out of his misery anytime soon.
We're gonna wrap it up, but just before we finish, I do want to mention one thing. After our last show, I went and watched a remake of a classic movie, one of my all-time favorite movies, which I thought should never be remade, right? Because if you're going to remake a movie, there's a couple of reasons to do it. The first one is you reinterpret it, so you make it very different than the original.
You should.
The second reason why is the original maybe had a low budget and it didn't have great special effects or whatever, and you want to update it and do it with a big budget, which usually doesn't work because they usually ignore the element of the original, which made it a cult classic.
You know what? You would think of the Thing in this.
Yeah.
You would think, but the Thing, 1982, is way better. John Carpenter's 1982. It's just way better.
I agree, and I think often a big budget distracts from that key element. That
it certainly can. I think it can really kind of suck away that kind of that original idea,
But if you're not going to do those things, then there's really no reason to remake a movie unless you're just trying to cash in on a name.
Okay.
And some classic movies should not be touched because they're perfect the way they are, right? And you can't improve on them. And the movie I'm talking about is Papillon.
Okay.
No idea.
Have you seen Papillon, the original?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think you've caught me completely off guard here.
Okay. From 1973, Dustin Hoffman, an amazing movie. I'll do a review of it one show. Beautiful movie, fantastic movie. They made a remake of it, and the remake is really good.
Oh.
From 1973, right?
Yeah, but the remake that came out this year doesn't do anything to improve the original, and it's not as good.
You know
So
what?
even though it's a good movie, it's not to the same quality, and I just don't know why you would bother.
For a new audience.
Yeah, I know, but
No, you know what? I can see that, but okay, think about the Thing from 1951, right?
yeah.
And then think about The Thing from 1982.
Yeah, but they're very different movies.
They are so different. The Thing, which is called The Thing from Another World in 1951, right? I mean, they're so different. They may as well be different films, far removed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're
Even
based.
though they're from the same base.
They do. They're based on the same book. They are, like, even The Thing from Another World based on a book, but you know what? The film version Like, how can you argue with John Carpenter's version, right?
Well, here's the thing about the new Papillon. At the end, I saw that it was based on the book Papillon
Yeah.
and the 1973 screenplay.
Of course, which is the film, right? Which we've all
Yeah,
seen.
so
I have seen that
it follows the original movie scene for scene. There's a couple of little new scenes
Yeah.
which
have
don't
seen
really
that,
add anything. And there's one large scene from the original which is simplified in the new one. And I just don't know why you would do that, apart from a cash in on the name.
Okay. There is one remake I want to mention here, which is like Miss Anonymous might be really, really fucking upset about it. No, really. There has been a recent remake of Suspiria.
I'm not upset until I see it.
Which is really, really good,
Yeah, see?
by the way. It's called it's called Suspiria.
I'd be interested to see it. I would be interested to see how, like, what they did with it.
It's told from oh man, how do I say this? How do I say this in a politely political view?
You don't.
Okay, it's a feminist movie.
Well, I'm not totally surprised
But
considering.
it's not. So is the 73 original.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not surprised considering.
Yeah. But it's a remake that's really gone under the radar for that reason.
Well, yeah, it's in current political climate, people would just write it off.
Yeah, it's
as pandering.
What's her face? The lady from the fucking Grey movies.
The Grey movies.
No, really. The fucking
Have you been drinking? Show us
maybe.
Really?
Like the Greys as in the aliens or Grey as in black and white?
No, the Grey, the fucking sexual fucking Grey movies. Dakota something.
Oh, good lord. Dakota Fanning?
No! Good lord. Kyle.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't think either of us know what the hell you're talking about.
No.
Okay, well,
it's a book. It's a book. It starts with a W.
Yeah, you'll understand. Anyway, she stars in the Suspiria remake.
Okay.
And most people will give her shit for starring in this remake, for being a feminist propaganda film. But it is not. It's actually a scene-for-scene remake of Suspiria from 1973.
They did that with Psycho too. Why would you remake a movie scene for scene?
Because Vince Vaughn is a fucking amazing actor.
Well, because Vince Vaughn is fucking awful.
Dakota Johnson, by the way.
And Dakota Johnson is actually a good actress.
Like, we've gotten way off of everything.
We have, but
I just want to say that I think that a lot of studios waste sequels and kill their franchise, and also I don't know why you'd remake Papillon, even though the remake it's a great movie. It's very competent. The actors are great. It's beautifully shot. If the original didn't exist, I would say this is a great movie, but the original is better, and I don't know why you would remake it.
You just wanted to be upset about this for a while, didn't you?
No. I'm not angry that they remade it. I just don't know why you would bother.
It's for a new audience. It's like unearthing it again, because there's not a lot of people that spend their time watching movies from the 70s and 80s.
I do get that, but I still don't think that's
goddamn kids, watch the original.
I just think there are some movies that should not be remade, like The Empire Strikes Back. Please don't ever remake.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen, but we'll probably be dead.
Yeah,
Oh, don't even get me started. Halloween. Don't remake Halloween. You can't do it.
And on that note, I think we should end it. What's happening next show?
Oh, The Eyes of My Mother and Darling.
Oh God, I should do Halloween. I actually should do Halloween.
You're gonna make us sit through that?
Yes.
Okay. We're just gonna have to deal with the two of us telling you how boring it is.
The best.
I'll watch it again and give it a fair review.
It does get better with more viewings, honestly.
The best horror film ever made by far.
Oh, fight me. Oh, fight me.
Are we doing a New Year's thing or not?
I don't know yet. Maybe.
We'll
Well, we
discuss that
might do an impromptu New Year's thing. It depends what works like for us, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. So our next show may be a New Year's thing, or it could be Eyes of My Mother and Darling early in the new year, I'm guessing.
Yes.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
see you next time. Good night.
Yep.
Goodbye.
do we recommend all three movies?
Absolutely.
Yep. I think it's a yes all around.
Oh,
yeah.
sure. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Good night, everybody. Bye. He's in the house.